chances this game. As a player, you probably want to start quite good and just get the first few touches early on.
Scotland-Hungary is underway. First of the final games in the group stages was almost underway, but the referee is not happy with the kickoff there, and I think we're going to have to do it all again. Switzerland-Germany may well be underway already in Frankfurt. That is the other game in this group this evening, and while they get reset here, just gives me a chance to give you the group table at the start of tonight. Germany 6 points, Switzerland 4 points. If Germany avoid defeat, they go through as group winners. The winners of this group will play the runner-up in England's group. Switzerland 4, Scotland 1, and Hungary on none. As we keep saying, if Scotland win this game and get to 4 points, they will at the very worst finish third in this group. It will give them a fabulous chance of going through to the knockout stages for the first time at a major tournament in the nation's history as one of the best 4 third-place teams. There could still be a scenario, a sequence of results by which 4 other teams could finish third in the other groups and pip Scotland either on goal difference or goal score, but it is hugely unlikely. We're not going to concentrate on that right now. The game is underway. Scotland in the dark blue, bright yellow trim, knocking the ball around inside their own half. They're defending the goal away to our left. Jack Hendry, the right-sided centre-back, sends one forward. Curling pass into the Hungarian half, and the clearance is hoisted high, drops near the halfway line. Hungary in the white shirts with the red and green trim. John McGinn gets a first touch of the ball in this game, and Scotland already, and I know it's only a couple of minutes in, looking calm and composed in this occasion, Pat.
Which is completely the opposite at the start of the game against Germany. Well, we couldn't get a kick of the ball for the first 10-15 minutes and didn't look comfortable on it at all. Now this is much better. They will get pressed now and again. The Hungarians are capable of doing that, but they know when to do it. Right now, every time the ball comes in, Billy Gilmour tries to get onto it, and he's put a lovely little ball into Shea Adams.
Yeah, Shea Adams has controlled that and played it back to McGinn, who's under pressure, does brilliantly to shrug off 2 challenges, eventually dragged back by the left-sided centre-back, Martin Dordoy. That's something that Scotland fans will love to see. John McGinn, right from the start of the game, doing what he does best. A Scotland free kick then. This is inside the Hungary half, probably about 45 yards from goal in the inside right channel. Steve Clarke, Scotland boss, smartly dressed, hands behind his back, dark blue jumper on here as Gilmour takes the free kick, curls it into the edge of the box. Hanley jumps, and there's a foul in there. So Hungary will get themselves a free kick. Lyndon Dykes encouraged by the Scotland start, I imagine.
Yeah, the boys have started well. You can see Hungary kind of sitting off a little bit more, being a bit more patient, to letting the boys have the ball at the back. But it's good, gives confidence to the players, get a few passes in, get Billy on the ball, get him some confidence. Shea there started off well, few touches, so be interesting to see.
Hungary then take their free kick. Their goalkeeper is Peter Gulacsi, former Liverpool goalkeeper, now long-time RB Leipzig keeper, all in light blue away to the right. Long clearance downfield. Hanley heads it away. I'll remind you the 2-team lineups in just a second. Scott McKenna here under a little bit of pressure. Inside his own half, clears, and the clearance is deflected off Bendegou's Bola for Hungary, so that'll be a throw into Scotland in the left-back position. Angus Gunn, Jack Hendry, Grant Hanley, Scott McKenna, the 3 centre-backs. Anthony Ralston and Andy Robertson, the wing-backs. Billy Gilmour, Callum McGregor in central midfield. Scott McTominay and John McGinn ahead of them. And Shea Adams as the centre-forward. Gilmour wins a header. Shea Adams jumps for the ball. Was he caught on the halfway line? No, the referee says that's just a coming together. It's been cleared and goes out for another throw to Scotland. Pat.
It's very interesting to see how Scotland are going to do it with McGinn and McTominay. Who's going to get up to support Adams the most? A couple of times there right at the start, it was much more McTominay. But the intelligence of those 2 players, they take it in turns. They know when it's your turn to go and support and make the deep run, the third-man run. Either of them is capable and extremely good at doing it.
Scotland with space to play again. Jack Hendry, little trick, forward to Adams. Clever layoff here to McTominay. Giant figure bestrides that Scotland midfield. Pass out to the left. Callum McGregor, quick touch and pass from him. Finds Hendry just inside the Hungarian half. Wide it comes to Ralston. Ralston gets help from McGinn. Again, McGinn using that body strength to hold off challenges. Bright pink boots tonight, John McGinn. Lay off to Ralston, and back it comes for Hendry. Lots of early Scotland possession in this crunch game for them, as these 11 players and the rest of the squad try to make history here at Euro 2024. In full here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Pictures via BBC television as well tonight. Euros Extra via the iPlayer, your option to have those pictures and listen to us here on 5 Live as McKenna drives it forward with his left foot. Sliding interception inside the Hungarian half. Szoboszlai can't keep it in play, and it goes out for a throw. I've got a former Scotland international on my left, a current one on my right. I'm not even Scottish. My heart is racing, my palms are sweating, and my mouth is dry. What's going on?
It's the excitement of the build-up to this, and you know the importance of it, and we have been telling you for a wee while how important it is to us. But right at the start here, Scotland didn't have the kick-off. Hungary went long with it, and you thought they would try and press Scotland in. They've hardly had a kick since then, so they've held it well. And you've mentioned it a couple of times already. John McGinn, who wasn't holding the ball as well as we know he fabulously can in the last couple of games, a bit better in the second game against Switzerland. But tonight, they cannot go around that. We've got to say it, that backside of his.
Switzerland 0, Germany 0. Naz Faruqi will keep us updated on that game. And here, Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Angus Gunn, now that'll be nice for him. Gets a touch edge of the box under no pressure at all. Hungary just staying off Scotland as Callum McGregor has the ball at his feet just inside his own half. Hungary have Gulacsi in goal. A couple of changes tonight. One of those sees Endre Botka come in as the right-sided centre-back. Hugely experienced Willi Orban in the middle of the back three. And Martin Dordoy as the left-sided centre-back. Foul on McTominay, another Scotland free kick inside the Hungarian half. Bendegu's Boller belongs to Wolves, joining Rapid Vienna after this tournament though. Right wing back. Milos Kerkez of Bournemouth as left wing back. Callum Styles, born in Bury, in central midfield alongside Andras Schaefer, who was such a star at the last Euros for Hungary. Roland Szoboszlai, Dominik Szoboszlai and Barnabas Varga. An incredibly dangerous front three that Scotland have got to watch, but so far they have not had a sniff of the ball. And Scotland are looking at causing Hungary some more problems from the set piece. This one from the left-hand side. Andy Robertson just gently moving the feet up and down, then runs towards the ball, curls it into the edge of the box. Szoboszlai heads it away. McGregor is able to control it and immediately feeds it back to Robertson. Robertson runs with the ball across the Hungary half. Space opens up. Ralston's in plenty of it. Takes a touch. Another cross comes into the Hungarian area. Nearly found Adams with the header across to the far post. Hungary able to clear. That's Kerkez, gives it a good thump with his left foot. Flick on here towards Szoboszlai, and Scotland have defending to do. Huge roar from the Scotland fans. Robertson comes across and makes the tackle, but still the danger is not cleared. And here's Varga with a right-footed drive. Gunn makes the save, awkward one. The ball dipped just in front of him. The rebound nodded back by Andy Robertson to his goalkeeper. Lyndon Dykes, what do you make of it?
Yeah, it was calm from the skipper there. Great little header back to Gunny. I'm surprised Varga didn't slip in his play on his right. He had a good shot, worked Gunn, but you can tell Hungary obviously looking for the counter-attack.
Che Adams, that's really clever body movement, that bouncing ball. He sort of turned his chest and laid it off to McTominay. McTominay dribbling just inside the Scotland half. Great touch from McGinn to lose his marker. Goes shuffling into the Hungary half himself. Scoops a little ball to McGregor. The early signs, Pat, here encouraging.
Yeah, they are. I mean, yes, that was a half chance there for the Hungarians, but don't forget, a few seconds before, the ball headed across by Che Adams. Had it just been cleared, there would have been a decent chance on there for Scotland. I was delighted with the ball that Ralston put in from the right-hand side here. Nothing would make me happier tonight than Ralston scoring or making a goal.
Here's McGregor, midway inside the Hungary half, across to Gilmour, creeping forward, tries to find McGinn. McGinn's tumbling forward, lays it off to Hendry. Again, Hungary stand off, and Hendry thought about the cross. Slips a little ball to Billy Gilmour. McGregor now. Scott McKenna just rolls it back to Hanley. Scotland putting plenty of passes together. Gilmour comes jinking across the halfway line. Again, McKenna's involved. Andy Robertson stays wide on the left-hand side. Hendry's calling for it here. 45 yards out in the inside right channel. The Hungarian fans, all in red, although there's a real section of them in the black T-shirts, the front of the stand behind that goal away to our right, making a racket, but it's still Scotland who come. McGregor out to Ralston, back to Hendry. Hendry points, wants a runner, instead just lays it off to McGregor. Forward here to McTominay, and slightly misplaced pass from McTominay, and Scotland have to come back into their own half and build again. 9.5 minutes in, Scotland 0, Hungary 0.
Yeah, but it's such a tight 5-4-1 that the Hungarians fall into when they just fall back. Be comfortable, that's what they're set up to do, because they believe, just as Lyndon was saying a few moments ago, in their ability to break, and they've shown that. But Scotland went again in good positions. You know, they'd love to get Robertson beyond, you know, the wing backs there and crosses in there, because we've got so many players that couldn't go and attack it from slightly deeper.
Switzerland 0, Germany 0, Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Robertson looking to get away down the left-hand side. McKenna couldn't find him. Hungary clear, and again they just sit back inside their own half, and McGregor, a very casual pace, comes trotting forward and lays it off to Hendry. Again, Hendry directing operations, waving a right arm furiously as he plays his pass. It comes back to Grant Hanley. Here's Hendry again. Hendry up the inside right channel. McGinn's little pass around the corner, nearly found Adams. Back it comes to the Hungarian keeper, Gulacsi. Clears with his left foot. Gilmour stoops, heads the ball down. Hungary get onto it inside their own half, and it is Andras Schäfer who plays back to Botka, and in turn they come back to the keeper again, Gulacsi. So Hungary starting the night on no points, having lost their first 2 games. Need the win, nothing else will do. That won't necessarily get them through. Could just give them a chance. 10, nearly 11 minutes gone on a sultry night, sticky night in Stuttgart. Great stadium though, open to the elements. It's got that sort of big top feel about it. The wide circular white roof, which when seen from above sort of looks like, I was talking about this at the Olympic Stadium the other night, like a big blimp with the top cut out of it, and all these little panels above us, giant panels really like billowing sails above our heads. White metalwork, circular all around the stadium as well. Hungary have a bit of possession here. Sholoi, little 1-2 with Callum Stiles. I think that's the first time he's touched the ball in the game. Sholoi across the halfway line, and back they come into their own half.
They'll get easier possession now. So Scotland are down to the 10 men just now with McGregor off. I think his boot's probably burst. I'm not sure. Something that happened with his boot anyway. But just notice it was just a moment before there. Hendry was come in for a little tackle. It was mildly robust. The referee's so overacted. You know, in the way Scotland play, you know, we have to be strong. We have to be physical. You know, but fair as well. There's nothing much wrong with that. And the referee looked personally offended by that. So keep an eye on that referee. He needs to allow the game to have some physicality in it.
Bright orange shirt, bright orange socks. Facundo Tella from Argentina is our referee this evening. McKenna's long ball into the Hungary half beyond McTominay and all the way through. In terms, Lyndon, of what we've seen from Hungary so far, has this surprised you? Is this what you expected?
It's quite surprising. I thought maybe they would come out quite stronger defending-wise, but they know they have to score a few more goals, so maybe that might change throughout the game. But it's good for us. We're keeping the ball under control well. When Shea's dropping in, we just have to maybe get in behind a little bit more.
So that's Lyndon Dykes. Pat Nevin also with us in the commentary position here in Stuttgart. 5 Live and BBC Sound. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. The Scotland players, as we keep repeating, trying to give themselves the very best chance of creating some very special history for the nation. A win and 4 points in this group is most likely to see them through to the knockout stages. Sholoi trying to get away down the left. The pass is slightly overhit from deep, and it runs away for the Scotland throw-in in a right-back position. Pat Nevin.
One slight, concern just a moment ago there. It was the right wing-back Bowler. He went beyond Andy Robertson, and Andy was expecting McKenna to come out and cover a little bit the way that Kieran Tierney does, and he didn't. Now that's just be aware of that, because that's a big gap. If you're playing against a team that plays 3/5 at the back, you're always looking for those little spaces.
John McGinn is almost at 45 degrees here, leaning back into Callum Stiles, who's struggling to deal with him, trying to get the help of the referee. Possibly a handball there from Shea Adams. That's what the referee's given. Adam looks a little bemused by the decision, but Hungary will have a free kick. They're in no rush at the moment. Dominik Szoboszlai, star man and captain, with the bright green captain's armband tightly wrapped around his left bicep in his white shirt. He's going to take this free kick from deep. Steve Clarke just having a word with Callum McGregor, now back on the field for Scotland, getting the instructions across as the Scottish national anthem booms out across the stadium, and a nice little haze of red and orange in the evening sky as the sun sets. Angus Gunn's going to come a long way off his line and claim that ball very confidently on the edge of his penalty area. No drama as yet, really. 14 minutes in, Scotland 0, Hungary 0.
Yeah, but Scotland really comfortable with the possession they've got. That's a really lovely moment for a goalkeeper, isn't it? He's had one other thing to do so far when the ball bounced in front of him, and he kind of palmed it out to his right hand side, but this time ball crossed in. They just love that. We can come and collect it very easily. It gives them a lot of confidence.
Here's Gunn now, ball at his feet inside his penalty area. Sort of lime green goalkeeping outfit with streaks of orange for Scotland's number one. He and Gilmour exchanged little 1-2, and then Billy Gilmour senses the chance to move forward with the ball at his feet as the Hungarian attackers back off. Sholoi is the one closest to him. Gilmour lays it off here to Hanley. Back to Gilmour again. Gilmour again makes 5 yards forward. Now to Ralston, and Ralston not under the pressure pat that we've seen in the first two games when he gets the ball at his feet.
Exactly, but I mean, we still want to try and get forward as often as he can. Right at this second, he isn't. He's playing the kind of right back position, but I mean, we're talking before the game about him. You couldn't not talk about him. He has never put his head down for a second. He has never hidden for a second. He would give you everything he's got in these games, and that's why I said a few moments ago, nothing would give me more pleasure than him being involved in a goal that Scotland scored today, because that bravery he's shown.
I imagine Scotland fans will be listening to us very nervously right now, wherever you are, on your radios, via the iPlayer with the BBC TV pictures, on the BBC Sounds app as well if you're on the move this evening, possibly in the car. Scotland 0, Hungary 0, everything at stake. The ball has run out of play for a Hungarian throw on the right-hand side. And it feels at the moment, Linda Dykes, though both teams are just sort of going through that process of sussing each other out a little bit.
Yeah, you can see that they're a little bit nervous, but I think the boys from Scotland, they've definitely eased into it a little bit. We have to just make sure we get to work the goalkeeper a little bit more.
Yeah, Angus Gunn's made the only save so far. Long-range shot which dipped in front of him, dealt with comfortably. Here's Callum McGregor, finds Gilmour. Gilmour in the centre circle, looking for McTominay through the middle. Hungary managed to get a block on it. The ball is played back to Botka in the right back position, and Hungary now bring it away down the right hand side. Schaefer though is caught in possession. Scotland have it. Hanley plays it to McKenna, and McKenna comes all the way back to Angus Gunn. Goal in the other game in this group tonight between Switzerland and Germany, Maz Faruqi.
And Germany had the lead, Robert and Glitch, putting them ahead. It was a shot from distance, which in all honesty, Jan Sommer in the Switzerland goal should have done a lot better with. But we are having a goal check here, a VAR review for a possible handball by Jamal Musiala in the build-up. So at the moment it is Switzerland 0, Germany 1. But come back to me, Ali.
OK, we'll get confirmation in a second. Pat Nevin.
A couple of things. Again, we don't take the goal kick by the goalkeeper, which most teams do. But it's very noticeable how many times the core player is Billy Gilmour. And just at this moment, the referee's got to go for his yellow.
Yeah, Callum Styles, unwise challenge in the centre circle. Came flying through John McGinn there. He tried to control the ball, the Hungarian midfielder. It ran away from him, and he's clattered into John McGinn. So first Hungarian player on the yellow card. McGinn's OK. Let's get back to Maz. Does the goal stand?
It does not, Ali. So it's Switzerland 0, Germany 0. It was actually a foul by Musiala on Abish. A referee went to the pitch side monitor and has scrapped that goal. So goal is still in Frankfurt.
OK, thank you, Maz. As it stands then, Germany still winning the group. Switzerland would be in second place. If this one ends as a draw, Scotland would finish on 2 points. Still a chance, a real outside chance of qualifying as a third-place team on that score, but then they really will be relying on the likes of Spain beating Albania, Italy beating Croatia, Portugal beating Georgia, Turkey beating Czech Republic. All of those results would have to come to pass. Here's Gilmour playing the ball back to Angus Gunn again. Scotland's keeper just waits for Varga to come towards him, then chips a little ball down the middle of the pitch. Great leap and flick on from McTominay. Adams making a nuisance of himself trying to win it. The ball won't quite come down, and now it's Orban for Hungary as they start to play out inside their own half.
Well, just one thing I'll tell you in a moment. Nearly breaks away there. Absolutely superb covering there by Henry, I think. Maybe one of the things that Scotland could do a little bit better is when they've got the ball, the likes of Gilmour, they've got the ball and McGregor, we've almost got a line of 4 up front. Now, you don't want a line. You want somebody at the point of that, your BHA Adams and others coming off him from a slightly deeper position, because if you're that guy in the deep midfield, you need angles to hit. And at the moment, we're a bit flat and a bit straight. And that's not the game of McTominay. That's not the game of John McGinn. they usually don't fall into that trap. I'm sure they realise it.
Oh, good skills from Gilmour, wide on the right-hand side. Dummies the cross. Styles is there trying to block him. Gilmour with his left foot strokes a beautiful pass back to Hendry. Wants to get this in early, I think. No, decides against that. Low pass from him. Finds Hanley in the centre circle inside the Hungarian half. Callum McGregor, the pivot. Quickly on to Hendry, wide to Ralston, forward to McGinn. McGinn using that strength again to try and turn his man. They back off. Hungary gets that cross in beyond McTominay, and it bounces behind harmlessly for the goal kick to Hungary. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Lyndon Dykes.
Ralston, I think, started very well. Nice little play with John there, using his body. But I think Raldo's looking good on that right side. He's getting much more higher. His angles are better, I think, this game. And hopefully this right side can keep putting balls in like that.
Tomorrow night, again, you're going to have to wait all day for your Euros football. 8 o'clock kickoff. Just one set of games tomorrow night. Croatia, Italy will be our commentary with Vicky Sparks and Chris Sutton again. Via the iPlayer and Euros Extra, you'll be able to get the BBC pictures for that one and listen to the 5 Live commentary if that's what you want. Albania, Spain, the other game in that group. And then Tuesday, 2 sets of games. 5 o'clock, Netherlands, Austria will be our commentary in a fascinating Group D and a really entertaining one as well. France, Poland, the other game. And then it's England, of course, Tuesday night against Slovenia in Cologne. McGinn trying to get away down the right-hand side is caught by Kerkez, who protests that the free kick has been given against him. Kerkez made a bit of a mess of that. And Pat Nevin, Scotland have a free kick in a fantastic position here, wide on the right.
Really good area. Temptation, obviously, for Robertson to come over, spin it in towards that back post to attack. By the way, John McGinn, he is bullying the life out of his players he's playing against us now. He's leaning in. He has figured out quite quickly he is stronger. And when he knows he's stronger physically than his opponent, he used that. And really good free kick in a really good area.
Quarter of this game has gone, still no goal. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. But a free kick for Scotland. Whipped in by Andy Robertson towards the near post. Smashed away by Soboslai with a right foot volley. No one at all in the Scotland half until Ralston comes running back to collect it.
Big Lyndon beside us here, being Sphinx-like. Come on, centre forward, you want that first, not the first defender to get beat.
Yeah, it's not the ball. I don't think Robbo tried to play there, but it happens. So next one we need to be a bit more effective on that one, I think.
Here's Hanley for Scotland, walking forward, plays to his left to McKenna. McKenna to Gilmour. Gilmour always buzzing around with the ball at his feet, always head up, looking for options. Back it comes to Gunn. Gunn, meaty clearance with his left foot, chased by Andy Robertson way up the field and headed out of play by Botka for a throw-in to Scotland on the left. Skies darkening above us, floodlights shining brightly here in Stuttgart. Ball played across to Hanley for Scotland. 0-0 against Hungary in a game. If Scotland can win it, they will give themselves a fabulous chance of making it through to the knockout stages here at Euro 2024. Hendry on the ball, inside his own half. Pace on that up to McGinn. Tried to lay it off to Adams, didn't quite come off. Hendry in to win a header. Now Adams controls the ball on his right foot, wrestling with Schaefer. John McGinn's battling in there as well. Ralston gets it, zips one down the right to Adams. Adams just tries to muscle his way past Kerkez. Kerkez wins that battle. And now Willi Orban for Hungary has the ball at his feet just outside his own penalty area. Sense a sort of slight tension inside the stadium as well, Pat.
But because there are no chances just now, and none at all. And even though Scotland have a lot more of the ball, there's nothing clean, not getting beyond players. It's still early days in the game yet.
McGinn's flick on, gets away from Shea Adams and runs behind for the goal kick to Hungary. Scotland 0, Hungary 0, and Switzerland 0, Germany 0. Germany goal ruled out by VAR.
We can see Billy Gilmour, who wants to get on the ball all the time, but he's everywhere. He wants to take it off his centre backs, he wants to take it off the goalkeeper, but at the moment, this last 5 minutes or so, you can see he wants to get a little bit further forward. He would like to make his passes slightly more dangerous ones, maybe through balls at the moment, so that's what he's trying to do just now. But at the moment, you've got to say Scotland must be comfortable at this. So look, the question we were asked about Scotland's technical ability after the Germany game. Do you know what? That's harsh. It was really harsh. I think in the last game and a quarter, Scotland showed they are capable at this level. Absolutely.
The guys in the black t-shirts away to our right in the Hungary end are the drum beaters at the front of the stadium. Hungary have a throw. Szoboszlai takes it, throws it into the ground. It speeds back to Orban. Shea Adams closes in. Orban plays to his left here to Dordoy. Callum Styles drops deep. Young man born in Bury. Plays for Barnsley, on loan to Sunderland last season. Under pressure in midfield. But the challenge is a foul on Kirkes by Hendry, who came way up to defend that for Scotland, so Hungary get another free kick.
Struggling a wee bit, Kirkes, isn't he? Every time he gets on the ball, he's got hassled, he's getting pushed, he's physically, it doesn't seem as if he's as up for it as I'd expect most of them here, but I just think if you're up against John McGinn, who's in that sort of mood, it's difficult.
25 minutes in, still 0-0, Dordoy. Scotland on the press here. Hungary try and play out. Ralston wins it, flicks a little pass in field to McGregor. McTominay moves into a central position. McGregor holds onto it. Styles follows him for Hungary. McGregor plays back to Hanley and comes across to McKenna. McTominay, quick give and go, sets off on a run down the inside left channel. McKenna didn't release the pass, played back to Hanley. Scotland back into their own half. Here's Hendry, stretches, finds Ralston. Ralston looking for the run of Adams. Adams gets to that ball first. Then McGinn's there, he's caught again by Orban, who came charging in. McGinn hit a first-time pass, and Orban's momentum took him straight into McGinn and knocked him flying. Yellow card for Hungary's centre-back. They've now picked up 2, both for challenges on McGinn. Yeah,
and you can tell there's a wee bit of frustration there. They're not getting a lot of the ball, and that's knee to knee. They can be sore ones. They can be really sore ones. John McGinn can't do anything, get out of the way of that one. So they can see that John's annoying them, which will delight John McGinn because he loves doing that sort of thing. But you can see there's a bit of frustration in that defence. They're knocking a lot of the ball. That's a couple of necessary hits and a couple of unnecessary yellow cards for the Hungarians.
Now the noise levels go up. Scotland free kick. Billy Gilmour with pace on that into the penalty area. Nodded down. McGregor jumps for it. Wins that header. The ball loops up and falls in front of McGinn. Side puts a pass to McGregor. Cross comes in, half deflected and headed away. Drops down now. Szoboszlai is there first for Hungary. Quick clearance as they try and hit on the counter. Intercepted. Robertson's ball forward here finds Hendry. Hendry able to turn. 40 yards out, central position, forward to McGregor. McGregor's giving it away, and now Scotland have got to be careful and get back quickly, because here come Hungary with Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai holds it up, plays it to Kirkes on the left-hand side. Cross comes in, blocked. It's knocked Anthony Ralston over and taken the wind out of him, and it's gone behind for Hungary's first corner of the game. Scotland 0, Hungary 0.
It's a bit of a mistake there. I mean, consider, you look back in Scotland's goal gave away against the Swiss. Anytime you give the ball away at this level, when you're on attack and you lift yourself short at the back, it can be dangerous. It can be painful, but I'll tell you, it was painful for one player there.
Yeah, Ralston had his hands behind his back, being ever so careful, took that one right in the chest. More thoughts from Lyndon Dykes in just a second, after we've seen Scotland try and deal with this corner. 28 minutes have ticked away. Still 0-0. Referee is in again for Kundo Teller to have a word with John McGinn and Scott McTominay in there doing the defending in front of their goalkeeper Gunn. Corner goes short to Kirkes. Szoboszlai stays wide on the left-hand side, controls it, curls a teasing ball into the penalty area. Headed up and away, drops down on the edge of the box. Boller jumps for it. Shea Adams has won it though. Hungarian player down inside the Scotland penalty area. Referee's not seen that. Shea Adams is streaking forward for Scotland. Down the left-hand side, now looking for support, has to turn back, plays to McGregor, and eventually the referee stops the game. So had Scotland been able to turn that into something more promising, then we'd have to wait and see what would have come of that. Right, back to Switzerland, Germany. Another goal. Will this one count, Maz Faruqi?
I think so, Ali. Lovely finish, a toe poke from Dan and Doy. The ball came to him, was crossed in from the left-hand side, edge of the 6-yard box. Really nice finish from the Switzerland man. So at the moment, Switzerland 1, Germany 0, but there is another VAR check ongoing.
OK, well, if Switzerland win the game, they'd be on 7 points, Germany on 6. So Switzerland would go through as the winners, and if Germany were runners-up, they would face the runners-up in Group B, which will be played out tomorrow. That's Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania. Lyndon, we are, what are we? We're almost half an hour in, and it's been quite cagey, hasn't it? 0-0.
Yeah, you can say that the fans are quite tense. But a nice little break there, obviously, from another defending corner, just like the Swiss when we scored our goal. Obviously went back for a free kick, but we're looking strong. I think the free kicks we're winning up high. We need to be doing a little bit better with them.
Oh, Hendry on the floor. Soloy's gone tumbling over him. He's hurt Hendry. I think Hendry is actually going to be penalised for the foul because Soloy was trying to get away. It was a right old scramash there. Hendry's lifted his shirt up to show the stud marks on his chest, but actually he got in a bit of a pickle and Soloy was trying to get away, and that's going to be a free kick for Hungary.
Oof. Do you know what? I've just seen it again. He'll say he didn't mean that. I think he could have jumped over his stomach there. You know when you can leave your boots in and make it look as if it's a mistake. He knows what he's doing there.
Yeah, it looked maybe a little bit, but not too sure.
bit naughty. Naughty, possibly.
I'm allowed to say that.
From Roland Soloy of Freiburg. Szoboszlai with the free kick. Half cleared by Scotland, only to the edge of their box. This is Szoboszlai now. Ball at his right foot. Plays it out to Boller on the right-hand side. Cross into that Scotland penalty area. Wall of blue to defend it. McKenna clears. Scotland trying to break out here. The ball is pinging around off different parts of everyone's bodies, and then Scotland have conceded the free kick, and this is dangerous. This is 25 yards out in a central position. I'd actually like to have a look on the monitor and see what was going on there. The ball hit McTominay in the chest. Styles controlled it. Adams came in and used his strength to try and knock him off it. It does look, Pat, like he shoved him over there, though.
100% it's a free kick. I think Shea's a wee bit frustrated there because it's a couple of times it's bounced off him there. You know, the ball was zipping into him, and it's a hard one to take, but on that occasion, because it was bouncing around, he overdid it trying to get it back. It's a long way out, but then again, Szoboszlai's not bad, is he?
Yeah, no, he is the man, Dominic Szoboszlai. 12 goals for Hungary, 44 caps for his country, 4 goals in qualifying. This is his first major tournament, having had to miss the last Euros. Loves moments like these. Tall man, dark hair, number 10 on his back. Wipes the sweat from his brow. A little bit of theatre going on here because he's stepped forward and he's just replaced the ball.
A good 6 inches back to give himself more up and down.
Just for that little bit of up and down, bit of dip. Szoboszlai against Angus Gunn from range. Hits the wall and balloons up over the crossbar and goes behind for the corner to Hungary. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. 13 minutes remaining in the first half. All the debate, analysis, reaction, as always, on the Football Daily podcast, which will be there for you on the BBC Sounds app tomorrow morning. You definitely need that as your companion through Euro 2024. Scottish football podcast can also be found there as well for everything from inside the Scotland camp. Szoboszlai's corner, headed away by McKenna right in front of Angus Gunn. The ball bounces on the edge of the Scotland area. Couple of headers. Ball won't come down here. Then eventually it's smashed away by Ralston on the half volley, and I think that will run out for a throw into Hungary inside their own half.
Best period of the game for the Hungarians. 2 or 3 half chances, getting a couple of corners, that sort of thing. Look, they're always going to get a part of the game, and it's just what happens now. Yes, they've had that 3, 4, 5 minutes. Hungary, will that affect Scotland negatively? Can Scotland get control back a bit again? Or indeed, with a bit of luck, I would hope that Scotland can play on the break from those sort of situations as we showed against the Swiss.
Right, not heard back from Maz as yet, so I'm presuming Switzerland 1, Germany 0 is the scoreline in Frankfurt in this group. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. The latest here in front of our eyes in Stuttgart. Oh, that's clever from Szoboszlai. Darts away from McGinn, feeds it to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai tries to slide it into the Scotland box. Jack Hendry let that run. This could be dangerous for Scotland here. It's played back out to Kirkes. Low cross. Blocked for now. Back it comes out to Kirkes on the left-hand side. Pace on that ball. McTominay, I think, is back there to head that away. He gets a pat on the back from Callum McGregor and says, thank you very much for doing that defensive duty. We'll go back to Maz in just a second to get confirmation of that. Hungary have taken their throw, though. Don't want to miss a minute of crucial action here. Every kick, every pass, every tackle, every moment, absolutely vital. As Scotland look to try and win this game to give themselves a fabulous chance of creating history at some point this week. The win tonight wouldn't guarantee their place as such in the last 16. You're then waiting on some other results. Here's Styles in midfield, plays it to fellow central midfielder Schaefer. He comes squirreling forward with the ball at his feet. Laid to Boller. Boller comes back here to Styles again. Styles, left-footed ball, across the Scottish half. Dordoy, step over from Szoboszlai, let that ball run. Here's Szoboszlai, takes a touch, hits the shot, wide of target into those Scotland fans. We've got the arms in the air behind that goal away to our left, and it remains Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Back to Maz Faruqi watching the action in Frankfurt.
Yeah, that goal for Switzerland stands, Ali. So it's Switzerland 1, Germany 0, and Dan and Doy with that goal could have had a great chance for a second as well, just wide of the right-hand post. But Switzerland top of the group at the moment.
Switzerland top of the group, yes, going through as group winners. Germany would be runners-up, and at the moment, Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Would have Scotland on 2 and Hungary on 1. Gunn for Scotland with his right foot, launches it high into the air. Ralston times the leap beautifully to flick it on. Awkward one for Dordoy to deal with. Hooks it away with his left foot. The ball's not gone out of play. Kirke's on top of it, and Ralston's trying to have a hack at it to get it out from underneath him, and it's going to be given as a free kick to Hungary. 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
At some point we need to be able to hold the ball up front a little bit more. It's tough when you're up there, as the man right beside us will tell us, but the ball's played up. You know, it's at the moment Shea's not maybe holding it as well as he usually does, and somewhat surprising this, but Scott McTominay's not really been able to get into the game much at all, has he? So need to be able to get a little bit of foothold in that area of the pitch just now.
Billy Gilmour's lost out on the halfway line, and Sholai plays it back into the Hungary half. Would you agree with that, Lyndon?
Yeah, I think we need to get the runners back off the ball coming up, whoever's holding it up. Obviously Scotty and Shea have kind of swapped positions now, but we definitely need to hold it up a bit more. I think Hungary have kind of came into the game much stronger now. They've kind of turned it up a notch, so we have to be watching out for that.
Ball might break for Szoboszlai here. Stretches, plays a clever pass out to the left-hand side of the centre-forward Varga. Not seen much of him. Sholai challenged by Hendry. Hungary have still got it though with Schaefer. Schaefer plays it to Kirkes on his left-hand side. Just slows it down for a second for Hungary. Still Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Unbeaten in qualifying were Hungary, and before their 2 defeats in the opening 2 games at the Euros here, it was only 3 defeats in their last 22 games leading up to Euro 2024, so their sort of lack of form at this tournament so far, played in patches but not been quite as impressive as they have been during the last couple of years under Marco Rossi.
But they're very cagey, very, very cagey. You're waiting a long time. You're talking nearly 30 minutes before they've really decided to come out a bit. Now, part of that is Scotland were holding the ball well, passing it, were controlling the midfield to some degree, and they were just almost waiting for Scotland to kind of run themselves out, maybe run out of ideas, and when they get that 4 or 5 minutes there, they did look a wee bit dangerous, but not huge top-level quality. This game's still totally wide open. It's one of those ones where whoever scores, this game will just take off.
Yeah, it's simmering, it's bubbling, and it's in the very early stages here. 37 minutes though gone in the first half. Hanley plays forward to Gilmour, a couple of 1-2s between them. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Hungary back off, so the white shirts just back off here, and Hanley comes marching towards them with the ball at his feet. Robertson just started to make a run wide on the left. It goes into Adams. Adams lays it off to Ralston, who's wide on the right-hand side. Back to Hendry. Hendry fires it forward to McGinn. McGinn just wriggles away from Dordoy there. Gilmour, good pace on the pass, zips it into McGregor. Opens up a bit of space for Scott McKenna. That would be the Tierney roll to drive forward from there. Wide it goes to Robertson. Robertson comes back to McGregor. Inside the Hungary half, all the way across to Hendry. 10 yards inside the opposition half and wide to Ralston. Ralston, clever ball through the legs of Kirkes. Nice layoff from McGinn to Ralston, falling as he crosses into the far post. Good leap, knocked down by Adams. Here's McTominay trying to bring it down on the edge of the box. Just chips it up in the air, still battles for that ball, and eventually it is hooked away by Botka. McKenna's in to win the header, might come down to McGinn. Clever control from McGinn with his left leg high, then a cross in towards the near post, too close to Galacci, and it spins into the Hungarian keeper's arms.
There is a suggestion that Ralston's the only player who's actually got beyond the Hungarian defence at any point here. He's got it down the right-hand side there, got a decent cross in there. Not getting that from Andy Robertson. The ball hasn't been played in behind that he can go and chase it at all yet.
No, definitely. I think Rado's played very well this half. Maybe the Hungary team's blocking off the left side a bit more with Robbo coming on, and then now Raldo's a bit freer, and it's good for Raldo because he's showing that he's getting forward and he's putting balls in the box.
That's the voice of Scotland centre forward Lyndon Dykes, unfortunately injured for this tournament. Lost Kieran Tierney during the tournament as well. No Aaron Hickey, no Nathan Patterson, no Lewis Ferguson. Ben Doak, who was in the initial squad, had to pull out as well. So they have had a few setbacks, but here they are Still very much in the hunt for a place in the knockout stages. Ball nodded down into the Scotland box. Good header away by Robertson. Again, another header back into the danger zone. Oh, that's a dangerous clearance from Shea Adams. Went up for the overhead kick surrounded by bodies, and he's caught. Who's he caught there in the face? He's caught the Hungarian player in the face. Free kick, edge of the box.
You know, just modern game, you say he's caught, or has he? Look, it's an overhead kick. He's tried it. No, he hasn't touched him at all, has he?
He hasn't, Pat. Doesn't look like. No, he hasn't.
Not even a sniff of a touch. I didn't think that for a second. I mean, again, I'm not one to complain about VAR as much as many people do. But in a situation like that, you have cheated by pretending you've got a head injury. I think that's the lowest of the lowest of the low.
And if it leads to a goal from the free kick and Szoboszlai will fancy this again, it's a little bit closer to the penalty area. That is a match-changing event,
exactly.
Isn't it?
And I know the rules are written and you can't do that just now. But I would write on Euro, and I've said it for a long, long time, anyone who feigns a head injury gets booked immediately. And that's feigning a head injury.
Adams went for the overhead clearance, didn't catch the man. Szoboszlai, little dink over the wall into the far post. Orban's header glances the bar. Scotland get away with one. He couldn't keep it down. It grazes the bar and goes behind for the goal kick. But, as we were just saying, justice is done there, really. Scotland 0, Hungary 0.
Yeah, I mean, everyone expected the shot. It was perfect position there. To be fair, we're just seeing it again here. That would have been offside, I think. But keeper's made himself big there. He's got out. I wonder, did he get anything on it? No, he didn't. But that's 3 or 4 yards out. I suspect it might have been offside, but I would have found it difficult to keep in my seething, furious anger as Scotland lost anything from that there. And it's the oldest one in the book. As soon as it happened, I thought, I bet he has me.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. You're absolutely right. He was within inches, but he absolutely made a meal of it and fooled the referee. It's not often you see a seething Pat Nevin. I can't remember the last time I have actually.
I don't like cheats.
No, I know that, Pat.
Full stop.
Absolutely. Ball with Hungary's keeper, Gulacsi. Pulse rate just raised a little there with the Orban header. It's gone back to normal now. Scotland fans encouraged with Callum McGregor on the ball. Lovely bouncy stride from him. Ralston drives the high diagonal away to the left, trying to get Robertson involved. Robertson leaps well to win the header, but the ball had actually gone out of play, so that will be a Hungarian throw. It's going to be, it looks like it's going to be, Pat, we're sort of tickling our way towards half-time here, that we're almost going to think, well, we didn't need to bother with that first 45 minutes, let's come out and start again.
The biggest difficulty is if you're Scotland, got a lot of the ball there for a good part of the game, so who's going to break the lines for you?
Yeah.
Now, John McGinn, he'll get his backside in and he'll turn and he'll drag a few players, but he's not been able to break the line. We're talking about Shea Adams holding it up and McTominay getting beyond. That's not happened either. You're talking about the wing backs, particularly Robertson. Is he going to break the lines and get in there? Well, they've covered that and they've not done that either. And that's maybe the difficulty of playing the style that Scotland are playing just now. It's pretty secure and pretty safe, but getting beyond defensive lines is quite difficult with this situation.
Good pass from Gilmour, finds Adams. Adams just hits a hopeful cross in from the right. Got to be careful on the control here. Boller does well, swings it away with his left foot. Hanley sort of missed control with his right foot and the ball bounced up and hit him in the chest, but he's got it under his spell now, plays it across to Billy Gilmour. Such a reassuring presence in there for Scotland, Gilmour, isn't he?
But possibly maybe the odd riskier pass. You know, the odd through ball. We do hold it, we are comfortable on it. Yes, that's international football. Gives the ball away, you don't get it back for a while. But now the odd risky pass we need.
Right, here's Adams inside right channel, looking to find Robertson with the diagonal to the left. Szoboszlai's leapt in the air to try and backheel a ball. Varga challenged by Hanley. Schaefer comes running through. That looked like a bad one on Hendry. That's going to be a free kick for Scotland. Schaefer stayed down hurt. Hendry picks himself up, didn't like the challenge. Referee shoves him away from a possible confrontation. But actually, Pat, we're going to need to look at that on the monitor there, because that looked like a real stamp down from Schaefer at speed on Hendry as he was on the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, both very, very committed to it, but we'll have a look at it. I mean, I actually would need to see that in slow motion. Schaefer's going to get a yellow card anyway. He's lunging, and I'll tell you what, he's got a yellow, and that's close to worse than a yellow. In fact, I think we should have a look at that. I think. Well, if there's a reason for VAR to see for serious foul play, that could have been really ugly. And as a player, you know, if your foot's on the ground, a player comes over the top and stamps on you at that pace, That's dangerous.
Yeah, he caught Hendry. He didn't catch him fully. It could have been worse. And I'm immediately looking at the monitor on the right-hand side, because if VAR get involved with a review, the message comes up on our screen. That hasn't happened, and the game, I think, is about to get back underway.
It need to be completely clear and obvious, that, and it's not quite that it's a complete clear and obvious red card.
We've almost reached the end of the first half here in Stuttgart. Free kick thrown forward. McTominay controls it inside the Hungary penalty area. Lays it back here to McGregor. One-touch control. Gives it to Gilmour. Across to McGinn. McGinn 30 yards out. Little chip ball into the box. McTominay trying to get on the end of it. It bounces. Gulaxi comes off his line and gets there first for Hungary and grabs it gratefully.
You can hear the Scotland fans, you know, in the second half Scotland will be shooting into their own fans, and of course the Hungarians the same. But when the ball goes wide, there's an urge, look, get it in there a little bit quicker. It's taken a long time to make that pass into the middle there. And by the time, obviously, if you play 4 or 5 more passes, then they're organised, they're structured, and players like Orban are very hard to get beat, and they've got massive numbers in there as well. But you can feel a wee bit of frustration from the Scotland fans saying, get that ball in a little bit quicker into the central area.
We're into 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. The other story developing tonight in this group: Switzerland 1, Germany 0 in Frankfurt. Unchanged team named by Julian Nagelsmann. If that result stays the same, Switzerland go through as the group winners, Germany through as runners-up, and they will play the runners-up in Group B: Spain, Italy, Croatia or Albania. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that. McTominay challenge, no free kick. Hungary have it. Danger at the end of the first half for Scotland. Styles bringing it forward. Half tackle. Summerslide's left foot shot always rising over the bar. Don't panic, Scotland fans. Goal kick for Scotland.
Yeah, I mean, good work there with Billy Gilmour. He got it back into position. That was a good tackle. It's coming in slightly from behind there, but no complaints there from McTominay. But Gilmour just did enough to put the forward off there as he's lasted with his left foot. And that would have been unfair in Scotland and harsh in Scotland.
A cagey, tense tussle in the first 45 minutes, plus the 1 minute of added time. That's been brought to a close. The two teams making their way towards the tunnel. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Angus Gunn with one early save from Varga. Awkward one that bounced in front of him, got his body behind it. Orban's header glanced the crossbar pat. That may well have been ruled out for offside. Scotland just need to find a little bit of a spark, but one goal will do it tonight. If they can keep the clean sheet, one goal will do it.
And that's one of the things that Stevie Clarke over his period of time that Scotland's been able to do. You know, wait when others, including myself, get a bit frustrated and wanted to get that next goal and that chance and ask a few more questions. But I'm already thinking, and I agree with Big London there, he said he felt that certainly Ralston's having a much better game today. He's playing better, looks stronger, looks more comfortable on the ball. But the way Scotland are playing just now, you need to get beyond the line, and they must be thinking of the likes of James Forrest, who's a more attack-minded right wing-back stroke right winger who can take on players. At the moment, we've no one at all who's gone beyond. And eventually, and if we're going to have the discussion, I'm sure Kelly's going to ask me the question, when do you stick or when do you twist?
I don't think anyone expected this to be easy, and it's not so far. Scotland 0, Hungary 0.
Psychic Pat is correct. That was exactly where my mind was going, because we talked before the game about Steve Clarke and his approach to this match, and Neil McCann was saying it as well when he joined us. Patience up to a point, and then 25 minutes, half an hour to go, then you start looking at it. If they can contain Hungary and contain their threat, then it becomes a cup tie, doesn't it?
Do you know what's interesting? We had two guests on before the game, and Fadi was saying we trust in Stevie because, you know, sometimes Stevie Clarke's left it till the last 10 minutes, particularly against Norway. Norway was one, but time and again, the build up to the last few competitions, late goals. Scotland have done it, and it's hard to wait that long. It's really hard. You need to be brave to wait that long, because if it doesn't work, then you should have done it earlier. And then Neil McCann came on and said, no, give London Dykes half an hour. And there's no right or no wrong. Nobody knows. You need to make a call on it at various points. But looking at the team that Scotland are playing against tonight, they're okay. But we can actually push a little bit more than we are just now. And the fact that Scotland aren't creating chances actually just gives Hungary more and more confidence to break forward and take control of the game a wee bit more themselves. So they won't make the changes at half-time, I don't think, but it might have to be soon afterwards, because 0-0, we don't want that.
Because they've had the ball in the Hungary box quite a few times, but there hasn't been a shot, not one attempt on goal.
It's too slow when it's coming in. And if every striker will tell you, get it in early. Really annoyingly, they say that to you. I can tell you from experience. And the reason why they want it in early is because they don't want defenders set. And it has taken a long time. We've got out there, unless the perfect ball ends in. And I understand that when you're wide, you don't want to hit the first man. But you've got to take it in sometimes. You've got to put it between the centre-backs and the goalkeeper now and again. And we've not done that enough. We've not given Adams enough to attack. We've not given certainly McTominay anything to attack in that sort of area. And that needs to be adapted in the second half, I think.
0-0 at half-time in Stuttgart in this game between Scotland and Hungary. In Group A, a story might well be developing in Frankfurt. Maz Faruqi.
Yeah, where Switzerland lead, Kelly. Switzerland at the moment then top of the group. The goal from Dan and Doy, it was a lovely topo finish as well. He had to stretch his leg up high to make contact a couple of yards out. The ball came to him at pace as well from the left, and he had a glorious chance as well to add a second goal for Switzerland shortly afterwards, but his effort just went wide of the right post. Remember, Germany had thought they'd taken the lead 17 minutes in with a strike from distance from Robert Andrich, which somehow beat the Swiss keeper, but that was ruled out for a foul in the build-up. Jonathan Tah has also picked up a caution, so he will now be suspended for Germany's last 16 match as well. So Germany trail, and they've dropped to second in the group at the moment. Switzerland lead by a goal to nil at half-time in Frankfurt.
And Raphael Honigstein is there as well. Raf, what's going on?
It's not going according to plan, is it, for Germany? I mean, the Swiss back line is so solid. Germany have had real problems creating any openings. The goal that they scored, or the goal that was taken away, was from a shot from distance, which kind of sums things up. And Switzerland looked so dangerous on the break. And Doyer's goal was beautiful. It was one of those rare cases where, to the naked eye, it looked definitely offside. But VAR, of course, with a chip and everything, showed us that it wasn't. For once, not taking a goal away, but letting a goal stand that I think otherwise would have been taken away. The first goal from Germany ruled off quite rightly because Musiala had fouled Eberscher in the build-up. But Germany are looking a little bit like a team that perhaps went into this game thinking we can just play a little bit, a draw is enough. And I think they're finding it hard to switch mentally into this attack mode and into being a bit sharper. There's a lot of passes that are a little bit underhit or overhit. First touches are not good. They are skidding around a little bit on the ground. That is very tricky and slippery. And Switzerland are just very, very solid at the moment and dealing with everything that Germany do really well.
If they do want a little bit of a nudge in the right direction, they might be as well to remind them that if it stays like this, Germany would play second place in Group B, which is Italy.
Yeah, it's not what we want. I mean, this is not the best Italian team, I think, of recent generations, but we have history with them. We rarely beat them. I think only once in a big tournament we've beat them. That was at Euro 2016 on penalties. And that game is not somebody anyone would relish. So I think Nagelsmann is going to make the point, maybe very subtly, that a draw is a minimum acceptable result here. But more importantly, I think Germany need to start playing a little bit. It's been very inhibited. It's been sort of very half-hearted, everything. And when you have all these tricky players playing between the lines, but there's no end product, it can look very frustrating, I think, and the crowd are not happy with what they're seeing so far.
Raphael Honigstein, thank you very much. Reflecting on Switzerland 1, Germany 0 at half-time in Frankfurt. Our commentary game, though, is here in Stuttgart, where it's Scotland 0, Hungary 0. If Scotland win this one, they give themselves an excellent chance of reaching the knockout stages of a major tournament for the first time ever. A draw might be enough, but the odds don't look good if Scotland come away with just a point. They cannot lose this game, though. Second half coming up very shortly, and the rest of the day's sports headlines after the BBC News with Stuart Clarkson.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Euros and the general election 2024.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you. Good evening. Flights at Manchester Airport have resumed tonight after a power cut caused a day of chaos. Up to 90,000 passengers have been affected as flights were cancelled, delayed and diverted. A fault with an underground cable damaged the departures, security and baggage systems, which then took much of the day to fix. Here's the airport's managing director, Chris Woodruff.
All of the operational systems are back working, functional. Aircraft across all 3 terminals are now departing and arriving into Manchester Airport, and our focus now is on recovering the operation to make sure that as we go ahead into tomorrow, we're in much, much better place. We are very much hoping to run an entirely scheduled operation.
Labour has called on the Gambling Commission to release the names of all the people being investigated for allegedly placing bets on the election timing. The Conservatives' Chief Data Officer, Nick Mason, has been named as the 4th figure from the party to be under investigation. He denies any wrongdoing. A man and a woman, both in their 50s, have been arrested on suspicion of murder after the body of a man was recovered from a lake at a holiday park in Dorset. The victim, who was in his 70s and from Birmingham, was found this afternoon in Heron Lake at Warmwell Holiday Park in Crossways near Dorchester. Gunmen have attacked 2 Orthodox churches, a synagogue and a police checkpoint in the southern Russian Republic of Dagestan. Officials say 6 police officers died in the fighting and another 12 were wounded. State media says a Russian Orthodox priest has also been killed. A church service has been held in Oswestwhistle in Lancashire to support the family of a teenager who's been missing in Tenerife for almost a week now. 19-year-old Jay Slater hasn't been heard from since he called a friend on Monday saying he was lost and needed water. And the former Liverpool and Scotland player Alan Hansen has been discharged from hospital to continue his recovery at home. His family have thanked people for their well wishes following the announcement earlier this month that he was seriously ill.
The team sheets are in and it's quite a lineup they've gone with here. Kyle Walker and Micah Richards, Lineker, Savage, Chapman, Shearer, Cates, Bamford, Sutton, Crossman, Rooney and Mbappe. This is just getting silly now. From My Mates a Footballer, 606 and sporting giants Kylian Mbappe, 5 Live has the perfect lineup of podcasts to accompany the Euros. What a goal! Listen on BBC Sounds.
Euro 2024 Deutschland.
With Kelly Cates.
On 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
It's half-time in Stuttgart. It's Scotland 0, Hungary 0 in Group A. Scotland realistically must win if they want to be confident of a place in the last 16. A draw might do it. A defeat certainly wouldn't. No goals as yet. We'll bring you the second half very shortly. Let's round up the rest of the day's sports news, though, because it's been a really busy Sunday. England are through to the semi-finals at the T20 World Cup with a 10-wicket thrashing of the United States. Captain Jos Buttler spoke with Daniel Norcross after the win.
A terrific performance today. You couldn't have asked for more, could you?
No, not at all. It was a fantastic performance. I thought actually they got off to a decent start, and I thought Livingston and Adil Rashid bowled brilliantly well in that period just after the power play and really pegged them back.
You kind of sense that, I mean, I say you're going to need them. They've been bowling well in the tournament throughout, but as you get into the semi-final stage, because you've qualified, either Trinidad or in Guyana, the spinners are really going to come into it, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, absolutely. Sometimes as captain, I sort of shuffle the pack as well. Some days they don't bowl at all, someone like Livy or Mo, and then another day bowl 4 overs. So credit to Livy today for being ready and performing so well. And like you say, those 2 grounds traditionally take spins, so we'll see what we come up against when we get there.
I worked for Chris Jordan. I mean, you had the game in control, but to wrap up their innings like that, it was spectacular, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, absolutely. I think we took the last 5 wickets for no runs, is that right? So, to make the chase sort of that much shorter, to try and win as quick as we could for that run rate, all those kind of things. There's a really terrific finish, and for Chris Jordan to get a World Cup hat-trick here in Barbados, obviously with his heritage from here as well, I'm sure it's a really proud day for him.
The latest TMS podcast will be out later this evening, and that's available via BBC Sounds. Elsewhere today, Max Verstappen won the Spanish Grand Prix for the 3rd year running. McLaren's Lando Norris was 2nd, Lewis Hamilton 3rd for Mercedes. Andy Murray is yet to make a decision on whether he'll play at Wimbledon. That's according to British Davis Cup captain Leon Smith. Murray had surgery on a spinal cyst yesterday, and Wimbledon begins in just 8 days' time. Meanwhile, Tommy Paul won the singles title at Queen's. We're concentrating on Scotland tonight, but England's final Group C game is against Slovenia on Tuesday. It'll be live on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds with all the build-up from 7. England captain Harry Kane was one of the players criticised for his performance against Denmark by a number of pundits. This was his response today.
I'd never want to be disrespectful to any player, especially a player who's worn the shirt and knows what it's like to play for England. But of course, I think what maybe ex-players or ex-players who are pundits now have got to realise is that it's very hard not to listen to it now, especially for some players who are not used to it or some players who are new to the environment. So, yeah, I always feel like they have a responsibility. I know they've got to be honest and give their opinion, but also they have a responsibility of being an ex-player, an ex-England player that a lot of players looked up to, that, you know, people do care about what they say and people do listen to them. So, like I touched on, everyone's got their opinion, but the bottom line is we haven't won nothing as a nation for a long, long time. And, you know, a lot of these players were part of that as well, and they know how tough it is. So it's not digging anyone out, but it's just the reality that, you know, they do know that it's tough to play in these major tournaments and tough to play for England. But yeah, look, I'd never disrespect any ex-player. All I'd say is just, you know, remember what it was like to wear the shirt, and that their words are listened to, and you know, some of the lads, or I don't know how many of the lads, but you know, you do hear it, and we all want to win a major tournament. I'm sure they want us to win a major tournament, and yeah, being as helpful as they can and building the lads up with confidence would be a much better way of going about it.
Well, just as we were hearing from England captain Harry Kane, inside the stadium here, which pre-match we were praising for playing a lot of Scotland songs, they started up with what's become synonymous with England, which is Sweet Caroline, to a chorus of boos from the Scotland fans.
Every DJ knows that moment when you put the wrong track on. And
he may well have had that sinking feeling.
Oh dear, speed that one quick.
Just very quickly, there is that balance, isn't there, between knowing what it's like to be in an international camp at a tournament, getting criticism and having to deal with that, and being fair with the criticism. You've got to be honest as a pundit, but equally you can be aware of the fact that they're human beings. It's a difficult line.
But I understand why Harry's fuming about it, but it's just a deal. It's just the world we live in. You need to cope with it. And the best thing is to blanket ignore it. Hey, they've got the points they've got just now. England are going to go through. You know, the best thing you can do, go and win the tournament. That'll shut anyone up who you think's been unfair on you.
And the players have just come out really quickly. So with you for the second half, Pat Nevin and Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Scotland 0, Hungary 0. We're going to wait to see in this second half when either team decides just to step it up and take a few more risks. If Scotland get a win tonight, they will give themselves an excellent chance of making the knockout stages of a major international tournament for the very first time. I will just remind you, if it does finish as a draw, Scotland will finish third in this group on 2 points. That could still be enough if Spain beat Albania and Italy beat Croatia tomorrow, and Portugal beat Georgia and Turkey beat the Czech Republic. But you're relying on an awful lot of things when teams are going to change, and other teams will be concentrating on their own matters in this tournament. They won't be worried about Scotland at all. Or if one of those sets of results goes their way in either Group B or Group F, there could be a scenario in Group C where England are involved, and a big win over Slovenia might even help Scotland out. But I'm not even going to get into that right now, because Scotland's job is to try and win this game. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Second half is just underway. Scotland in the dark blue kit with the bright yellow trim. Callum McGregor on the ball, defending the goal away to our right, but crucially, as Pat Nevin was saying, in the first half, now attacking the goal, which the Tartan Army are stationed behind, and that does make a difference, doesn't it, Pat?
Yeah, we can hear them already. They're trying to urge them on towards them, and it could have an effect. But I mean, right at the moment, no one's made any obvious changes. Obviously personnel, but tactically as well. And it really is that moment, who blinks first. I said to you before that Scotland had 60-odd% of the possession, 64% of the possession, and you know, if you've got that, do you then change it? You know, because, and if you change it and you lose control of the game, you've made a mistake. So it's a tricky one, but you still need 3 points. You've got to be brave at some point.
Yeah, it's the gamblers with the cards in their hands. Those are Steve Clarke and Marco Rossi, the Italian, the 59-year-old who manages Hungary. Hungary have a free kick. Anthony Ralston has committed a foul inside the Hungary half early in the second half, waving the white shirts forward, all in white this evening with red and green trim from the colours of the flag for Hungary. Playing from left to right as we look at it, Andras Schaefer, the midfielder, one of the 3 Hungarians on the yellow card, chasing a ball down the right. Scott McKenna's got it covered. Clearance hit Schaefer, but actually came back off McKenna in the end, and it's gone out for a throw-in to Hungary. Attacking position down by the corner flag, wide on the right. Angus Gunn in goal. Hendry, Hanley, McKenna the back 3, Ralston and Robertson the wing backs for Scotland, Gilmore, McGregor in central midfield, McTominay, McGinn and Shea Adams. Lawrence Shankland sitting on the bench waiting for his chance. He will be chomping at the bit to get out there if Scotland need a goal as this second half progresses. Throw into the penalty area. Very hopeful appeals from the Hungarian fans for a potential handball or foul inside the Scotland box. Referee not interested, holds the play for a second. Hungary get another throw.
Yeah, none of the Hungarian players were asking for that, which is a bit of a giveaway usually.
Here's the throw then. Right-sided centre-back Andre Botka takes it. Scotland up to win the header through Scott McKenna. Goes behind for a Hungarian corner. 2.5 minutes gone in the second half. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. The surprise in this group at the moment, Switzerland leading Germany by a goal to 0, which would see Switzerland win the group and Germany finish as runners-up. And as it stands at the moment, that would mean playing Italy in the last 16. Soboslai's corner, away swinger. Powerfully headed away by McKenna again and out for another throw to Hungary on the right. They've got Gulacsi in goal, Botka, Orban, Dordoy, the three centre-backs, Boller and Kirkej, the wing-backs, Callum Stiles, Andras Schaefer in central midfield, Szoloj, Soboslai and Varga, the three attackers. Throw-in for Hungary. Botka was thinking about the long one. He's probably too far back for that. He decides against it and just chucks it back into his own half to Willi Orban. It's driven forward from deep inside the Hungary half. It finds Boller, Bendegu's Boller on the right-hand side. Chip ball with his left foot. Soboslai flicks it on into the box. Little chest down here. Shot on the turn from Szoloj. Very easy save for Angus Gunn as the ball comes bobbling towards him. Pat Nevin.
Decent start to the second half for the Hungarians without creating anything massively clear cut. But they've been on the front foot. Scotland can't get out. I mean, Scotland work hard. I mean, you're talking about McTominay and McGinn. When Scotland lose the ball, the basic defenders are right in front of their defence. But as soon as they get any opportunity to try and get up the field and try and get onto the little flick-ons, they just haven't been able to do so yet. And, you know, keep on doing it. And if it comes off once, then Scotland, you know, could well win the game. But, you know, you'll feel the frustration if it's still 60, 65 minutes in. You know, do we, as we said at half-time, stick or twist?
Yeah.
Take a chance.
Scotland have won a throw. They played from deep. McTominay was beaten in the air, took a whack, but the ball went out of a Hungarian player, and now Hungary are trying to clear, and McGregor intercepts the clearance, and Gilmour is there and lifts his right foot high to control that and pass it back to Hanley. Thumps it forward quickly, McGinn, trying to turn on the edge of the box. Might fall to McTominay, it does. McTominay stuck a foot out to make the challenge and has been penalised for a foul on Dordoy. Owen McTominay is booked. And if Scotland do make it through to the last 16, that is a second yellow card for him in the group stages. He wouldn't be able to play in the game.
And again, I don't believe there's any touch in the defender here. We'll see it again slowly, and I may be proved wrong. If there's anything, there's a toenail level touch. No pain at all. And he's just missing a game in a major final for something as minor as that. And that's, I mean, as an ex-player, that just feels utterly grotesque and unfair.
Come up on the screen in front of us to confirm that. Scott McTominay misses next match. Lyndon Dykes back with us for the second half. That is for a challenge like that, Lyndon, that is a tough one to take.
Yeah, it's a major disappointment. He'll be absolutely gutted, you could tell by his face. His straight reaction was just, please don't give me a yellow. But yeah, big miss for Scotty if we do get through.
That's what Scotland are hoping. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Just got to concentrate and try and win this game, get to 4 points. And that should be enough. It really should be enough to get Scotland through to the knockout stages for the first time ever at a major tournament. Free kick for Scotland inside their own half. Scott McKenna thinks about taking it. Hanley behind him, passes sideways to McGregor. Soboslai was interested for a second. McGregor trots away from him, prods it to Gilmour. Gilmour back to Hanley inside the Scotland half. McTominay whips one first time into the feet of McGinn. It just gets away from McGinn, but there he is using that solid frame to shield the ball, hold off the defender. Back to Hanley. Hanley striding forward. Is there enough on the pass to reach Robertson? Not quite. Sliding challenge from Boller. The ball has gone out of play for a throw into Scotland on the left. 7 minutes gone second half. Robertson wants to take it quickly, but the whistle is blown 3 or 4 times and he's forced back 10 yards, and the referee is saying none of your lip sunshine as well. Just comes over to have a word with the Scotland captain.
I'm trying to think of a polite way of saying it, but the referee's getting in my wicket at the moment. That's not the most polite way to say it.
That is the polite way to say it, Pat. Gilmour in space on the left. Cross comes in with that. I was going to say a handball. Chest, right off the chest by Orban. Leapt and controlled and cleared. And it ends up in the Scotland half again. Just waiting for the drama to explode. It's just tense. The tension is building. So much at stake here for Scotland in particular.
It's really tough when you're talking about the players just now and decisions you make. You don't want to make a mistake, because if you make a mistake now, you're the one that will be remembered for it. So that's one thing. But maybe even more than that, the manager. There's big decisions now. This is tournament decision time now.
Shay Adams, good chest control. Pass out to Andy Robertson. Nearly left the ball behind. He's lost it to Szoboszlai. Liverpool against Liverpool here. Robertson comes screaming back in, takes it off. The Hungarian lays it off to Shay Adams. Chance for Scotland here as they come forward. Adams, right-footed drive is over the bar. Right idea, looking for that top corner, the whip into the top corner beyond Gulaci, but Lyndon Dykes couldn't quite keep it down.
No, it was great from Robbo there. You've seen him get back, win it back, plays it forward to Shay, and I don't mind it. He obviously cuts in, has a shot. Could have done with working the goalkeeper, but it was still good start from Shay. He held the ball up nicely, and then he had his shot off there. Unfortunately, hit target.
Well, two options as well for a change. We've not had that many. He's gone in and he's taken a shot, but Robbo had done the overlap as well, and had that been manipulated, we could have got round the back, which would have been a very dangerous position, but a little bit better for Scotland.
Shay Adams looking to win a free kick. Referee not interested. Schaefer with the challenge. Adams quickly to his feet. Schaefer plays the ball to his left-hand side. Steve Clarke is looking to his left-hand side and watching three of these Scotland subs warming up and stroking his chin and then waving his right arm in the air, because he knows that's going to be an offside against Hungary, and Scotland are going to get the free kick. In terms of the manager's instructions to the teams at half-time, gives me a chance to get the phrase in for the Deutsch Wörterbuch, which is our feature here during Euro 2024 across the breakfast show and the Football Daily podcast. And I don't think either manager will have gone for this at half-time, but the Fernbehandlung, that's a football-related term in German. Sir Alex Ferguson was famous for it if things weren't going so well. I may just have given that away, what that translates as. Fernbehandlung, you'll get the answer in the Football Daily podcast, which will be there for you on the BBC Sounds app tomorrow morning. 10 minutes have ticked by, and quite soon, Pat, we are going to be looking at this stopwatch quite a lot and watching that time race away. But there's still plenty of time in this game. Plenty of time.
Quite soon I've already started looking, and then looking towards the bench as well. Who's warming up? Is it something you can change that could make the big difference here? But remember, Hungary thinking exactly the same thing just now. It's just have Scotland get that many game changers. They've got Christie, obviously could maybe do something there.
Here's Schaefer for Hungary, halfway line. Szoboszlai in support on his left-hand side. All Styles nearly gave that away to McTominay. McTominay continues to chase. Botka's there for Hungary. Back to Orban. Shay Adams, brilliant chasing down by Adams. Never gave up on that. And the reaction from the Scotland fans tells you everything there. Slid in, blocked it, only went out for a throw. But that's the desire that the Scotland fans love to see. McTominay back to Robertson. Robertson's lost it. Now this is danger for Scotland here, because Szoboszlai is driving forward and Scotland players desperately trying to get back. Szoboszlai's ball, it has got through onto the left-hand side, into the penalty area. Shots deflected, and behind it goes for the corner. There's an appeal for a handball on the block as well. Szoboszlai with the strike, but at the moment it is just a Hungarian corner. Pat Nevin.
Do you know how quickly the Hungarians, by the way, his arms in beside his side, that's never a penalty kick, but the Hungarians, how quick are they to pounce as soon as one little half of a mistake, and it's only a half a mistake, well inside their own half, and there they are, 3, 4, 5 of them zipping forward. They play for those moments, absolutely.
Switzerland 1, Germany 0 it remains. Second half in Frankfurt. As it stands, Switzerland are going to be winning this group, and Germany will be qualifying as runners-up. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Referee again, there's so many bodies. That's a really congested 6-yard box there. Szoboszlai's delivery into the near post. Good header away by McTominay. Nodded back into the danger zone beyond everyone. Angus Gunn is going to let that go. We were just saying, Linda, before you were coming up for the second half, in terms of the managers, really difficult to know when to make those changes, when to twist, when to take the risk here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I think he'll just go off his instinct when he thinks he needs to do it. He's going to judge how the game maybe portrays and how it's twisted with momentum, and just kind of see the feeling of it. But obviously we've got the likes of Shanks on the bench and Ryan Christie and Armstrong to come on to maybe give us a little bit of another option if we need it.
Scotland take the goal kick, get the game back underway, keep looking at the stopwatch here. 12 minutes gone in the second half. A draw not terminal for Scotland. Definitely wouldn't be going home if they draw the game, but it's less likely that they would get through as one of those best third-place teams. Nice, incisive ball from McGregor. Forward to Gilmour. Lays it off to McGinn. Tight spaces here on the halfway line. Across it comes to Scott McKenna, doing a sterling job in the absence of Tierney. Gilmour's first-time pass. Chris back to McKenna. McGregor back towards Hanley. Not quite so accurate there, so Hanley has to go traipsing back 5 yards or so. Then just prompts McGregor with a forward pass. Gilmour comes running towards his midfield partner on the ball, slides it forward to McGinn. McGinn turns Schaefer again, just cannot deal with the strength and movement of John McGinn. Here he goes down the right-hand side, gets through a couple of challenges. Dordoy comes across. Oh, McGinn's beaten him into the penalty area. Looks for the cut back to McTominay. It's cut out by Orban, and it goes out for a throw-in.
It's that breaking lines we're talking about. If you go beyond one player, they're very well organised, the Hungarians. But if you take one player out by dribbling or physically getting beyond them, then it stretches everything, and suddenly there's movement. Hasn't happened often enough, but I suppose actually the man most likely so far has been John McGinn, because he's been so strong.
13 minutes gone, second half. Tense stuff. 5 Live, BBC Sounds, with you all the way through Euro 2024. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Stooping header from Hendry. Felt he was caught there as he made the challenge. Roars the complaint at the referee as he comes racing back. Didn't get the decision. Dordoy gives it a good old-fashioned hoof, miles up in the air, drops down. Hungary win the first header. Scholloy lays it off. Chip ball into the Scotland half. Angus Gunn in a great position there. Calm here, lets it bounce twice and then hooks it away with his right foot. Header flicked on towards McGinn. Doesn't find him. It's over the head of Soberslai. Might drop to McKenna. Scotland have lost it inside their own half. No, the offside flag is up. So it is still Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Hungary saying that the ball was headed to them by a Scotland player, so it shouldn't have been offside.
I'm keen on the Hungarian side in that one. Yeah. Scotland got a wee bit lucky there. He's coming off, but Scotland playing it. By the time he's headed it, he's onside. A bit lucky there.
Pat Nevin and Lyndon Dykes with us here in the Stuttgart Arena. Dark night skies above us now. Tension crackling in the air. Switzerland leading Germany by a 0-0, which would be a real shock in this group. Switzerland always get out of the group, but winning this group would be quite something with the hosts in it. Hanley's ball forward, looking for the run of Adams. Orban's header only finds McTominay. Edge of the box, stretches, can't quite control it. Adams darts in to try and win it. Soberslai stretches and has given the ball to Gilmour. He's 50 yards from goal. Quickly forward to McGinn. McGinn turning Dordoy again. Support from Ralston on the right. Good ball in, but too close to Galaxy. Good speed on it. Right idea, Lyndon, but the keeper's able to claim it.
Yeah, right idea. I think McGinn's going to be key in this half. He's using his body very well when we're getting down that right side, and we're getting balls in like that. We're just going to make sure we get one player across the front there.
Right, Adam Noig is getting ready to come on. Surname spelt Nagy. I can assure you it's pronounced Noig. Former Bristol City midfielder, normally a key man for Hungary, and he's getting ready to come into the game. So that is going to be the first change, but that is a sort of holding defensive midfielder, controlling midfielder coming on for Hungary, and both Styles and Schaefer on yellow cards. So it's Styles who comes off.
Maybe not a surprise there. I think it was a toss-up between the two of them who would be starting the game tonight. But really, again, Scotland have had a good little play without absolutely being brilliant, and controlling the game in the final third, controlling the game in the midfield. Again, looking at Billy Gilmour, his passing has been absolutely beautiful tonight, but you can see he wants to get further forward and make that killer pass, that threaded needle pass, because that one pass may well change the game completely, but we've just not been able to make it yet.
Don't know if it's coming across to you at home, the faint strain of the bagpipes, the doodle sack in the background here in Germany. By the way, Lyndon, doodle sack is the German translation for bagpipes, in case you think I've gone completely mad. Shea Adams, little back heel, looking for the run of McTominay. The ball is cleared away, chested down on the halfway line. McGregor zips in to win it for Scotland. Scotland need a moment, something to happen, just one chance to be created, someone to take it, a real hero to step up. The fans are stepping up right now. The national anthem rings out around the stadium. McTominay can't quite control that ball, but it runs to Robertson, and back it comes again to McKenna. Gilmour always making himself available inside his own half. Is that rendition going to inspire Scotland here? Bringing it forward into the Hungary half. Shea Adams takes his time, rolls the ball to Hendry, on the right. Hendry just drops the shoulder, darts infield, plays it back to Gilmour. Gilmour forward to McGinn, back to goal, edge of the box for Scotland. He's able to turn wide on the right-hand side. Plenty of Hungarian white shirts defending the edge of their penalty area. McGinn tackled wide on the right, and it's gone out for a throw into Scotland. We're into the last half hour of this game already, everyone. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Opportunity there for Scotland tonight if they can win this game. Chance possibly now. Adams trying to get onto it in the penalty area. Orban's challenge, it was offside. So Hungary get the free kick. You can see what they're trying to make happen here, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, I mean, he's bent his run as much as he possibly could now. He is offside. It's a really good line there by the Hungarians. I mean, Orban's he's a good defender. He's a very tough one to play against.
6:06 tonight. After all the England and Scotland games during this tournament, lines open 08 085 909 693. Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton taking your calls this evening after the game, taking those calls through until midnight. Back at home over here, 10:20. Still Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Kirkes cross deflected in the air, and behind it goes for a Hungarian corner. Scotland player down. That gives me a chance to check in on events in Frankfurt. Maz Faruqi watching Switzerland against Germany.
And Switzerland still lead. A couple of subs for Germany now in this second half. Rahman, Schlotterbecker on for Mittelstedt and Tar. Gundogan, Musiala and Kroos have all come close, but Germany still trail, and Switzerland is still top of the group as it stands.
Yeah, Switzerland as it stands going through as group winners to play the runner-up in England's group in the last 16. Corner for Hungary, in from the left. Very, very deep, high one, driven to the back edge of the box. Boller controls it. Another cross in, and the header is over the bar. It was Dordoy, young centre-back who got on the end of it, couldn't keep it down. Goal kick Scotland.
One advantage that the Hungarians have got over Scotland just now is Szoboszlai's his balls from corner kicks particularly do look dangerous. Most of them being whipped in with real pace into that near post, beating the first man. And this one, with a lot of air on it, he knew what he was doing, found the man at the back post, and that slightly confused the Scotland defence just for a moment or two, but I don't particularly enjoy it when he gets the ball out there.
Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Almost 20 minutes played in the second half. Threaded ball through the Hungarian midfield. McGinn inside his own half, loses it to Schaefer. Hungary on the attack, just outside the edge of the penalty area. Cut back to Szoboszlai. First touch. Robertson saw the danger, came herring in and wins it. Now can Scotland turn it into a counter? Billy Gilmour evades one challenge, brings it out wide to the left inside his own half. Forward to Adams, lays it back to McGregor. Closed down by Schaefer, and back he comes to Angus Gunn. No chances taken by Gunn. Side foots it down the middle of the field. McTominay heads it back into the Scotland half. Chested down by Ralston. Keeps hold of it for Scotland, gives it to Gilmour, and Gilmour plays to his right-hand side, and Jack Hendry. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Hanley forward to McGregor, McGregor to McGinn. Lovely first-time pass, finds McTominay. Still a lot to do, but McTominay is on the charge for Scotland, still going, and then tries to cut inside Orban, who makes the challenge, and Hungary quickly out of their own half. Here's Szoboszlai. Good support on the left-hand side from Kirkes, who goes speeding past him. Szoboszlai holds on to it for now. Then Schaefer makes a supporting run into the heart of the Scotland midfield. Little pass to his right, finds the danger man Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai just gliding around this pitch, looking for pockets of space. Pass roll to Botka. Botka casually plays it out to Boller. Boller's cross blocked by Robertson, and out it grows for the Hungarian throw. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Boller waits to take the throw, but he's going to leave it to Botka, because Botka's the fella who's got the big long one that he can launch into the Scotland box. Wants a different ball as well. New balls, please, a la Wimbledon. Botka on the artificial matting just by the side of the pitch. Not going to go for the long one. Just bounces one down in front of Orban. Orban plays it across here to Dordoy. Right, changes coming for Scotland. I can see Steve Clarke starting to make things happen, and it's gone out anyway for a throw-in to Scotland. Lyndon, you'll have played in plenty of teams under Steve Clarke where it is patient. You bide your time, and you go in for the kill late in the game. No need to panic here as yet.
No, definitely not. We turned the night around over in Oslo against Norway in very quick succession. So we make sure we have to just keep being solid, but we can't give anything away, obviously, because then it's going to make it much more difficult.
Szoboszlai's ball in towards Szoboszlai. Just had me a little nervous there. Gunn off his line quickly. Bouncing ball, punches it away. Hungary wanted to take the throw in quickly. The referee didn't let them do that. Now he is allowing them to take the throw. Right, number 9, Lawrence Shankland. is coming on. Is that Stuart Armstrong coming on as well? Szoboszlai's ball across the face of the Scotland penalty area. Tense moments these for Scotland, and it's a little bit of a rash challenge there from Grant Hanley to concede the free kick, Pat Nevin.
And you definitely don't want to bring any substitutes on in this moment in time for this dangerous sort of area. I'm just looking at them, I mean, they're not surprising changes that he's going to make just now, but they are creative, they are positive, they are, you know, people who are the creative, try and score a goal for you. I have to say at this point in time, the player I wanted maybe most to see was James Forrest. You know, because he's a player that can go back beyond others.
Szoboszlai with the free kick, chips it into the area. Gunn comes a long way, throws himself at it, and he's down hurt at the moment, and he needs attention. The ball has gone behind. He's bumped into Ralston and one of the Hungarian players as well, and the referee's quite concerned for a minute here. The Hungarian player breathing heavily, flat on his back. His teammates are going over to check him. It was one of those balls right into the danger zone. Gunn came a long way, players had to go for it. It was a real collision in there, and I'm not sure whether they're actually going to show us any replays for now, but big stoppage in the game.
They're not acting there. That's very ugly injuries down there. The Hungarian player is in a lot of difficulty at the moment, a lot of difficulty. They need to get a doctor on.
Trying to see who that is at the moment. Hungarian teammates have rolled him into the recovery position inside the 6-yard box. The medical staff are extremely quickly onto the field here. Angus Gunn is still down as well for Scotland. And very sensibly, the stewards here at the ground have come out with a couple of giant cloths, blankets, just to shield what is going on in there as the Hungarian player who is down is receiving medical attention. We hope for the very best, as always. I mean, Pat, this will obviously send a bit of a shiver down your spine. We don't know exactly what's happened there, but obviously at the last Euros with what happened to Christian Eriksen, this is a completely different incident. But whenever you see something like this developing on a football field, you have to, and you could see the immediate concern of the Hungarian players.
Yeah, you can tell immediately from players' reactions. It's a horrible one, and the possibility, you know, the cheers are just now for the potential penalty. I think they're being a wee bit slow to get this sorted.
Yeah, look at Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's come sprinting towards the stretcher bearers here and said, hurry up. They were walking onto the field. Hungarian fans jeering, really expressing the urgency here to get that stretcher onto the field and look after their teammate. The other thing that is going on in the background, and it is of absolute minimal importance compared to the health of the players out on the field, VAR are checking for a potential penalty as Angus Gunn came flying out to try and get to that ball for Scotland. The Scotland goalkeeper is back on his feet. I have to say, I am still unaware precisely who is down for Hungary at the moment, behind the screens, with the stretcher now out there on the field.
Yeah, and we have seen it before, you know, when the keeper comes out and he doesn't get the ball. And if he takes the player, then, you know, it's a foul. I actually thought he got some of the ball there.
Yeah.
So, but you need to check it.
Yep, they will be looking. Varga leapt for the ball. I'm not sure if he was caught by Gunn. It was sort of the way he fell onto his back.
It seems odd to talk about a penalty kick when the player's down quite seriously injured. I mean, it was very much secondary.
Well, that is really stirring stuff from the Hungarian fans, because they are clapping their hands together and chanting for their stricken man, Barnabas Varga, the centre forward, who is down and still receiving treatment on the field here at Stuttgart. Horrible scenes at any football stadium that you never want to see. They will be taking every care to look after him out there, and we just hope he's going to be okay. Still over 20 minutes to play in this game.
It is the worst type, you know, and London's here beside us. If you're going for the ball, you don't protect yourself, and that's the worst type of hit to take, isn't it?
Yeah, it's you're just focused on the ball that much, and anything that happens after that is unfortunate. I think looking at the back there, maybe even when he fell, I'm not sure, but you can tell straight away he's definitely out, because you can tell by his arms. His arm kind of gets stuck a bit in an awkward state, and you can kind of tell he's knocked out maybe. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, Kelly Cates has just spotted that Dominik Szoboszlai, the Hungarian captain, who was so quick to get to the stretcher bearers and hurry them along, is in tears out on the field. And when you're so close to something like that, it is incredibly traumatic. Really difficult scenes here at the moment in the Stuttgart arena. Scotland 0, Hungary 0 in the game, but all we care about at the moment is the health of Barnabas Varga. Switzerland leading Germany by a goal to 0 in the other game, which continues. The Hungarian players have come away from the incident, most of them, and have moved to the side of the field and are actually chatting to some of their teammates and the substitutes. And now Szoboszlai is involved again with the medical team, and it's a more sturdy stretcher. It's one on wheels that is being rolled onto the pitch here into the penalty area away to our right-hand side. I remember Simon Kjær playing such a valuable part for Denmark at the Euros 3 years ago when Christian Eriksen suffered that cardiac arrest, and Dominik Szoboszlai, as the captain for his team, is leading from the front here. And all we can see at the moment is, well, Varga coming off the pitch on a stretcher. Szoboszlai continues to walk with him. Those stewards in the bright orange bibs are keeping those blankets up, those curtains up, to give Varga his privacy here. He is lying flat on his back on the stretcher, and he is being taken straight from the field of play. As soon as we get any update on his condition, we will bring it to you here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, and we can only hope and pray that he is going to be okay. Scotland 0, Hungary 0 in this game here in Stuttgart. And again, Pat, I mean, football just pales into insignificance, and it's going to be very difficult now for the players. You know, we talk about, oh, it's such a crucial game and Scotland trying to make history. When something like that happens, you just chuck it all out the window.
I mean, the desperate hope and understanding is if it was ultimately serious, they would stop the game now.
True, Pat.
So the referees looked at it, he's obviously had a word with the medics and felt as if it's acceptable to carry on.
Right. Hungary are going to make a double substitution. One of those will be the centre-back, Martin Dodoi. He will be replaced by Attila Soloy. And the big, giant, bushy-bearded centre-forward, Morten Odom, comes on for Hungary as well. Let's quickly get back to Frankfurt, find out what's going on in the game between Switzerland and Germany.
We've got about 17 minutes to play in Frankfurt, Ali. Still Switzerland 1, Germany 0. Switzerland making a triple sub, including bringing on Amdouni, the Burnley forward. So it's disrupted their rhythm a little bit because they've changed their entire front line. Granit Xhaka has been booked as well. Germany have made their third sub as well. Robert Andrich, who remember had the ball in the back of the net in the first half, has been replaced by Bayer. And it is still Switzerland 1, Germany 0. 74 minutes played now.
Yeah, the game is back underway here in Stuttgart. Varga having been taken from the field after a really awful fall inside the Scotland penalty area. Our hopes and prayers are with him. At the moment, Switzerland winning this group, they would face the runners-up in Group C. That's England's group. Germany would be the runners-up in this group, and they, as it stands, will meet Italy in the last 16. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Long ball forward. Odom is going to chase this one away down the right-hand side. Hungarian fans roar with delight as he gets to that ball. He's an absolute giant, is Odom. Then the pass is played to the edge of the box. Kirkis' cross reaches Odom. Chested it down. Scotland thought there might have been a handball. Great feat from Szoboszlai. Little chip cross into the near post. Fabulous header away as he was fouled by Jack Hendry. That is going to be a free kick to Scotland. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Pat Nevin.
Huge lift there for, you wonder who would react to what after that kind of very serious injury to Varga there. But it seems like Odom coming on has made a huge difference to the Hungarians. Their fans behind, they're giving him actually a lot of stick to Gunn. I actually don't think Gunn would actually cause the problem there. Something else happened. It was very difficult with their replays to see what actually caused it.
Lyndon Dykes, Scotland changes here. Shankland on for Adams, so that is striker for striker. Stuart Armstrong on for John McGinn.
Yeah, I think straight swap for Shanks and Shea there. Obviously, maybe a little bit fresh legs. You can see Shea was maybe getting a bit tired, running and trying to press there. So hopefully Shea can do well. And big Armstrong come on for McGinn. Hopefully he does well. Maybe control the ball a little bit higher up the pitch.
Odom's ball doesn't find its target. Szoboszlai looking hugely motivated at the moment. Little back heel. Scotland have won it off in though. Robertson plays the ball to Gilmour. Scotland sweeping forward. Chance here possibly to create something. McTominay's low ball. Oh, I thought it was going to fall to Gilmour as he continued his run. Interception at the back by Noig. That's a Scotland corner.
It looks as if the game's opened up considerably, and to be honest, I think it just about started before the injury. 4 or 5 minutes before that, you can see there was a little bit tired on some of the players, and there was a bit more space. Well, it's massively more space now, and it's speeded up as well, so we should see a few more chances these last 15 minutes or so.
14 minutes to play. There was 6 minutes of stoppage time as well. That's definitely going to be added on. Low corner in, that's not great, although the delivery looked purposeful from McTominay. He slaps his hands together in frustration. Hungary away on the counter here. This is Soloy, the centre-back left-footed pass, and no, it's overcooked and into the Scotland penalty area. And Soloy, that was Soloy trying to find Soloy, and he couldn't do it.
Just on the left-hand side here, Armstrong finds himself in left wing-back position at that point in time, just trying to see if there's any real change in the system. McTominay staying quite far up the field as much as he possibly can. You can see Billy Gilmour, he's almost moved into a 10 position there to try and get that. He's been creeping up further and further as the game's gone on. He's much further up. I think he knows, and Scotland know, we need a goal.
Yeah, intensity has been rediscovered inside this stadium. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Scotland, knowing a win, takes them to 4 points and should really see them through. McTominay's ball runs to Armstrong, he's down in the box, and the referee says no penalty.
He's got to look at it. He's got to look at it, Alistair. Now, to be fair, he might have been offside in the run, but he's got to look at that. He's got to check.
Video assistant referee is Spain's Alejandro Hernandez. He will be looking at that right now. We look at our screens to see if there's going to be a penalty check. Armstrong back on his feet, made the great run from midfield, as Pat says, could well have been offside, but the challenge looked clumsy and hefty, and for a minute there, as the referee stuck his left arm out, I thought he was pointing to the spot, but he was wagging the hand and saying no, nothing's come up on our screen, so I think that's okay.
Interesting though, Shanklin, his first time he gets the ball, gets on the ball, he goes beyond. He doesn't go short, he doesn't go towards the ball to hold it well. He goes in behind, and that's the difference between him and Shea, and that's why so many people were keen to have Lawrence Shanklin on the field.
Slides ball forward, that is brilliantly read by McKenna. Steps in and intercepts. Armstrong trying to wriggle away down the left-hand side. A little shove in the back, it looked like, from Boller. No free kick, but it will be a throw-in for Scotland. Or have they given the free kick to Scotland?
I don't think the assistant referee had a clue there. You know what, Shanklin's been really clever there, hasn't he? He's got in front of the defender. Actually, it's not. That's a different one, is it? I'm trying to say
that's the one. That's Armstrong.
That's Armstrong, actually. It wasn't Shanklin that got in there.
Yeah.
He's put himself ahead of it. So that's exactly what's happened. He's put himself ahead of it, maybe to take the hit. So it wasn't a clear and obvious mistake of the referee.
Flick on towards Odom. Both players there were sort of wrestling, grappling, had a handful of each other's shirts. Did you see the replay there, Lyndon? Did you see the challenge on Armstrong in the box?
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. It's a great run by Stu there, just to get in behind, stretches the back line. It's kind of tough. He uses his body. It's one of those ones where it's 50-50, but this big boy came up front now. The defenders are definitely in a battle for us.
Yeah, this is Martin Odom, who plays his club football in South Korea, and he's an absolute man mountain. Number 9 with a big bushy beard, lumbers into the penalty area. Cross comes in, aimed at him, over him. Robertson heads it away. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. 10 minutes plus, plenty of added time coming. Scotland not necessarily out with a draw, but really need the win. Good challenge made by McGregor. The ball runs loose on the edge of the Scotland box. Hungary still have it with Orban, who's forward in the attack. Curling ball into the far post, is too close to Gunn, and Gunn came out. And the Scotland fans breathe a huge sigh of relief as he makes the catch. But not only that, he bowls it out to Robertson, and Robertson curls a teasing pass for Armstrong to chase. It's beyond Armstrong. Schaefer's there. He lets it run out for a Hungarian throw. Pat Nevin.
Yeah, Armstrong wants to chase out there, but he was chasing a lost cause. But you need to take chances now. Kind of happy that Robertson played that ball there, because you need to be risky now. We've got to be risky now.
Oh, Lyndon's just spotted a couple more changes coming. Kenny McLean and Ryan Christie waiting to come on for Scotland. So Steve Clarke is rolling the dice. As I say, a draw doesn't eliminate Scotland this evening, but it makes it far less likely for them to get through. They need lots of results to go their way. Still time to snatch the crucial goal. Hungary, of course, have to win the game to give themselves any chance. which will put Scotland bottom of the table. McGregor in, wins a tackle, and it runs back to Angus Gunn. And of course they will be driven on by what's happened in this game, with centre forward Barnabas Varga taken a really nasty fall inside the Scotland box and carried off on a stretcher. There is a lot at play here in Stuttgart tonight. Here comes Scotland down the right with McTominay. Ralston's there in support, plays the ball back to Gilmour, 35 yards out, and now just bringing it gently infield, looking for the run. Shankland's little ball across the box. Oh, Galaxi's nearly dropped it. The offside flag is up. It wouldn't have counted anyway, as McTominay went scrambling in there looking for the rebound.
He's run offside, but that's okay, isn't it? You've got to take a chance.
Yeah,
ask the question.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think is he off?
Oh,
but it's good that we're penetrating the back line. It's unfortunate there, but it was a great little run from Shanks.
Right, Scotland are cranking it up. Don't go anywhere. 5 Live and BBC Sounds at the Euros. Lyndon Dykes with the Scotland centre forward. Pat Nevin, former Scotland international. So much at stake for Scotland as Billy Gilmour makes way tonight. And Anthony Ralston will come off as well, but James Forrest is not coming on. And you just put 4 fingers up there, Lyndon, so back 4 for Scotland. That's what's happening, is it?
Yeah, I would think so with Kenny coming on. I think Ralston's coming off there.
Yeah.
So we can see Christie on the right, maybe pushed up McTominay with Shanks. But yeah, definitely a back 4. We see Jack Henry at the right side.
Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Can Scotland just find that moment of inspiration to send these Scotland fans off into the city of Stuttgart to have a high old time? They're going to have that whatever, but the win tonight, they will be as close as they've ever been to the knockout stages of a major tournament. Time is running out though, 7 minutes plus plenty of added time. Robertson's ball forward, McTominay's chasing it, Gulacshi's off his line and is able to catch it safely just inside his penalty area.
At least there are moments of excitement there. We were taking chances. That risky ball I was talking about before. Give a centre forward something to chase. Give him ask a question of the centre backs. Maybe a little bit too safe, a bit too stayed up until this point in time.
Switzerland 1, Germany 0. Switzerland still in position to win this group this evening. Germany going through as runners-up as it stands to face Italy. Cross into the Scotland box, dangerous! Headed behind, or headed straight up in the air actually, and into the arms of Angus Gunn for a moment there. I thought the Hungarian man, I think it was Kirkes, might be able to get onto it at the back post. As it is though, Scotland have it. This game is opening up. And both teams are going to start taking some more chances late in the day. Ryan Christie gets on the ball, the Bournemouth man for Scotland, weaving his way forward. Tackled inside the Hungarian half. Soboslai on the ball for Hungary. You can hear the excited Hungarian fans in the bright red shirts away to our right. Kirkes receives the pass from Soboslai. Played out to the left here for Hungary. Scotland back in numbers. Armstrong is there to try and block the cross. In it comes towards the far post. Robertson twists desperately to head the ball away. Rolls out to the right. Hungary waiting to make a double change. Boller's cross into the box. Headed away by Hanley. Took a whack on the back of the head. That is going to be a free kick for Scotland. So 2 more Hungary subs to come, and we're ticking over into the 86th minute, Pat Nevin.
Yeah, no, but the game has, the pace has lifted, hasn't it? OK, you make the changes, you've got to take the chances. Had a goal been scored earlier in this game, we'd have had this for the entirety of the game. But because it was 0-0, everyone was caged up until now. I think we can open up and we can understand this result doesn't suit either team at all. And I expected it to open up a wee bit before that.
Just having another look here at the challenge on Stuart Armstrong that Scotland went up for the penalty for. You can just looking at Steve Clarke's reaction as well, desperately claiming for that. Hungary making the double change. Hanley still receiving treatment. Maz Faruqi, what's going on in Frankfurt?
Well, Ruben Vargas had the ball in the back of the net for Switzerland as Germany are pushing for the equaliser, creating lots of spaces now at the back. But he was marginally offside, just offside as he made the run forward. So that goal's been scrapped, but Switzerland still lead by the goal to 0. 85 minutes played in Frankfurt now. So
the wing-backs have gone off for Hungary here. Bendeguz, Boller and Milos Kirkes have been replaced by Zolt Noig. It's another Noig out there for us this evening. And Kevin Shobot, 24-year-old striker who has a lot of pace about him. Right, Scotland fans are going to inspire the team with their singing. 4 minutes left of the 90. There was at least a 6-minute stoppage, Pat Nevin, for the treatment that Varga needed for Hungary. More treatment here to Grant Hanley as well. I think we've easily got 10, 12 minutes to play
we should
here.
have at least 10 because of all the substitutions as well. We've got another stoppage as we talk right now. So the referee, if there's anything under 9 or 10, I would be shocked at.
I can see on the bench there, looks like Lewis Morgan's going to come on. So
that's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a big call.
So I wonder who's going to come off here and what they're going to try to do, because obviously it'll be a little bit wider. But like you say, I definitely think maybe 10 minutes at least.
Yeah. Enjoy it if you can with us here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Croatia, Italy, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Your commentary on the network. Updates on Albania, Spain. Germany, Italy, a potential last 16 tie, the way things are standing at the moment, but those games still to be played out tomorrow. Debate, reaction, analysis, as always, in the Football Daily podcast at the Euros. Go to the BBC Sounds app, search Football Daily, click subscribe as Gunn clears with his right foot. 88th minute of the game. Nary a chance to be seen, really. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Chasing the ball down the right is Shobot. He's quick. He's not that quick. He's never getting on to the end of that. And it's gone behind for the goal kick. So you've got the pace of Shobot on the right-hand side, and then you've got the absolute battering ram of Odom, the big centre forward through the middle.
I mean, it's completely different to where the game has been before this. It's a real, let's take every single chance. We've got to throw everything at it now. The last few minutes, possibly, of these championships for both teams. And taking Robertson off is maybe a surprise, but look, as I say, you're going to take every possible chance. It gives them a chance to go to possible back three again.
It looks like Robbo had a little bit of limp there, maybe struggling with fitness, but looks like Kenny's went to the left, so maybe it's still a back four, but Kenny maybe deeper crosses with the left foot.
Kenny McLean, Norwich City, loyal servant to Steve Clarke over the years for this Scotland team. Shankland does brilliantly for Scotland, driving forward down the left. Excellent sliding tackle on him, stops him in his tracks. 89th minute, Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Ball loose in, no, free kick given against Scotland for the challenge on Odom. As it stands at the moment, Switzerland winning the group, going through as the group winners to play the runners-up, who will come from England's group. Scotland with defending to do. Still 0-0. Ball into their penalty area, beats everyone, and Angus Gunn is able to collect. And with this game at 0-0, Scotland will be finishing in third place on 2 points. Then they need Spain to beat Albania tomorrow, Italy to beat Croatia tomorrow, and then they're going to have to wait a bit as well. And they want Portugal to beat Georgia and Turkey to beat the Czech Republic as well. Can they find a winner late in this game? Scotland fans desperate for a moment of magic in Stuttgart. But here's Szoboszlai, who's trying to do the same thing for Hungary. Tall, imposing figure. Schaefer driving forwards with the ball, up to the edge of the box, hits the shot, Gun down to his left, palms it behind for a Hungary corner.
Shows you the openness though, and it's going to be open. Yeah, well, you've got to accept that. You made a lot of changes, you've brought in attack-minded players. Both sides now, this game has absolutely opened up, and just a few more seconds we're going to find how long there is left.
Yeah, expecting that to be double figures, close to double figures. Szoboszlai, corner for Hungary, away swinger from the right, headed down, edge of the box, Schaefer's drive through a whole host of bodies and behind for the goal kick to Scotland. Well wide of the target, 10 minutes of added time. Scotland have 10 minutes here, as do Hungary, but obviously with our audience we're focusing on Scotland tonight and their dream of trying to make it to the knockout stages of a major tournament for the very first time. The Scotland fans who didn't see the board go up have heard the 10. They know there is still a chance here. Lewis Morgan is on the field. Great goal scoring record in the MLS this season. Chases a ball through. Gulaci clears. Scotland have got to be careful at the back as well. Brilliant challenge by Hanley on Szoboszlai in the centre circle. Szoboszlai picks himself up and plays it to Shobot on the right. Oh, Odom in space in the middle here. Slides the pass to his right. Szoboszlai! Gunn makes the save at the near post, and then Scotland managed to hack it away. You could see what Szoboszlai was going to do there. He was just going to absolutely thump it, and Gunn was strong enough to stand there and block it.
Well, this is the pace and the excitement I was hoping from the start.
Szoboszlai's cross into the penalty area. More danger! Headed just wide. Gunn at full stretch. Goodness me. The Heart is not going to take much more of this. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. And from Scotland's point of view, this is happening at the wrong end. Scotland take the goal kick. Now you can see the urgency here. The desperation. Kenny McLean driving forward from left back. He's run the entirety of the Scotland half, and then the pass is overhit away to the right-hand side, and it goes out for a throw. Lyndon Dykes, what do you make of it?
Jesus, stressful. Big Scotty made a great run there, bursting forward, but we have to make sure we're solid at the back. Again now, they're through again, 4v2.
Oh, Scotland defenders leaving players for each other. Shobot into the penalty area. One touch, hits the shot. Oh, it's in the post. It had beaten Angus Gunn across the face of goal. It hits the post. Odom was unmarked in the middle, and Scotland survive again, 0-0.
Utter chaos, complete chaos, but it's almost what we want, because you want chaos. Somebody has to win this game. Draw's not good to anyone, so there are so many players out in the field that are playing in weird positions. You are going to get more chances in these last 8 or 9 minutes.
I was going to say controlled chaos in Stuttgart. It's not even controlled. No. Right, here comes Scotland again. No, they've lost it on the halfway line. Blimey, this is end-to-end at the moment. Summerised, ball at his feet, striding forward, up to the edge of the Scotland box. Body's in the way to stop him. Huge roar from the Scotland fans as the challenge is made. Summerised wants a penalty, and like a petulant child, he thumps the floor, but he doesn't get his way. Armstrong's ball. Scotland's chance to attack now. McTominay crunched in the centre circle. That has to be a free kick, and it is.
Well, it's a clever free kick there, I have to say. He's taking a little bit of a chance there because, well, he's just come on, hasn't he? So it could have been a yellow card there easily, but nice little break there from Scotland. This game is so long, and there are tired places, and there's lots of space there. So I knew what he's doing, didn't he?
We've been meandering along for a while this evening in Stuttgart, and suddenly 10 minutes to go. Rev up your engines, and here we go. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. We have played 3 minutes of the 10 minutes of added time. Scotland fans praying for one chance, one opportunity, the chance to set up history for the national team. Can it be their night here in Stuttgart? Free kick for Scotland, driven to the left. Armstrong has got loads of space here. Gets it onto his right foot, ball into the box, headed away. Controlled by McGregor, lines up the shot, couple of deflections, and bounces out of the Hungarian penalty area. We're up and down out of our seats here in the commentary box. Ryan Christie swerves in from the right, deep cross. Shankland can't quite get there by the byline, looking to head it back across goal, and it goes behind for the Hungarian goal kick. Lyndon Dykes.
So unfortunate. I'm going to lose. I've grew my hair out, and I'm going to lose it at this rate. I tell you what.
But Shankland's got into good positions, hasn't he? He's done all the right things there. He's pulled himself around the back there. He's got a bunch of space there, but the ball's just too long for him.
Scotland have got plenty of attacking players out on this field now. Can they find the spaces? Ball forward. No, it doesn't find Lewis Morgan. McGregor jumps into a challenge. Ball breaks for Hungary. Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. Good challenge by Kenny McLean. Not used to playing left-back. Did well. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. 6 minutes remaining.
Again, as I say, all over the place. Players are playing in unusual positions, but they're just fighting, chasing, getting close as they possibly could. 2 other players there, but trying to break it every opportunity. Going man-to-man at the back. Both sides at the moment. There's got to be more chances.
Change at the top of Group A in Frankfurt. Nicholas Füllkrug has scored an equaliser for Germany late in the game. Switzerland 1, Germany 1. That changes the top of the table. Germany would go through as group winners, and Switzerland through as runners-up. Scotland 0, Hungary 0. Throw in from Hungary. Ball is loose, edge of the box. McLean clears with his right foot. So open now, wide open spaces. Free kick for Scotland for the challenge on Kenny McLean. It's one of those at the end of this game. They are taking so many risks.
It's a cup game. Basically, someone's got to win here. There's no extra time, and you both could lose in a way if it's a draw.
Yeah, I think we're waiting for this the whole night, and obviously it's opened up now. So it's both teams gambling, and you feel like both teams are going to get a big chance each coming.
Hanley heads the ball back to Angus Gunn. Steel yourselves, everyone. Drama at the Euros. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Gunn smashes the ball downfield. Great header by Botka to get up above Armstrong. Tired legs out there now. Shobot with the speed down the right-hand side, looking for the run of Szoboszlai. Can't find him with the pass. That goes through to Angus Gunn. Again, 4.5 minutes remaining. Not all over for Scotland if they draw this game, but then they really need other results to go their way. Could do it themselves here if they can find a late goal. And if they do find a late goal, I don't think you are ever going to have heard anything like it. Here's Hanley. Ball to the right-hand side. Hendry looking for the releasing pass to Morgan. Scotland have 2 in the middle. Cross in! Oh, it's over the bar!
I think he's offside.
Oh, he's offside. Yeah, sliding stretch there in the middle from McTominay.
You could see it early doors, me and you, couldn't we?
I didn't even celebrate.
Yeah.
I didn't even get excited.
I think he's definitely off.
Yeah, it was
from our angle. Yep.
Oh. Right. 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes to go. Thought that was going to be McTominay's moment, Scotland's moment, Scotland's night. Could still be. into the last 4 minutes. Brilliant leap from McKenna to win a header inside his own half. Nodded forward, flicked on for Hungary. Ball is high in the air, in the middle of the Scotland half. Szoboszlai just side foots a little pass to his left. This is Noig, left-footed drive, well wide of the target. No deflection on it. Goal kick for Scotland. Just over 3 minutes to play. Kenny McLean has the ball at his feet. Doesn't really see an option. All of the Scotland players are over on the right-hand side. No one ahead of him on the left. Goes back to Angus Gunn. Gunn, desperation now. Clatters it forward again. Good flick on. Might fall for Shanklin. Good first touch from Shanklin. Still moving for Scotland here. Trying to thread it through to Lewis Morgan. Ball at his feet. Edge of the box. Hits the shot, but it runs to Armstrong. Looking for Morgan again. It's intercepted. And it goes out for a throw into Scotland.
One of the best positions we managed to get into the whole game. I mean, we couldn't capitalise on it.
Yeah, I think it was 3v3 at one point there.
Can it happen? Will it happen for Scotland? Armstrong. Two white-shirted Hungarians in front of him. Good skill, beats them. Cross comes into the penalty area deep here. Controlled on the edge of the box by Christie. No room to manoeuvre there. Hard pass. Hits a body on the edge of the box. McTominay on the turn. Runs to Hanley. Oh, Hanley's shot. Save. Still a chance for Scotland. Flag stays down. Weak cross into the box and easily caught at the near post. Blimey, it opened up for Grant Hanley, of all people, to try and caress a right-footed shot into the top corner.
You can see he's absolutely knackered as well. He's on his hands on his knees there.
He can't get back, can he?
No, I thought it was big Grant top corner there. I've just seen it.
2 minutes to go. Grant Hanley, who hit the post in the game against Switzerland as well, all over in Frankfurt.
We've got 6 up front here.
Yes, Switzerland won, Germany won. Germany have won the group. They go through as group winners. Late equaliser from Fulkrug decides that. Switzerland through as runners-up. At the moment, Scotland are going to finish third with 2 points, needing plenty of results to go their way. It could still happen, but can they make it happen? Minute and a half to go. Angus Gunn again just knocks it long. Scotland with all these players forward. Shanklin wins it on the right-hand side. 3 in the middle, waiting for the cross. Delivery to the far post. Hanley's headed down, blocked at the near post. Scotland have a corner. They wanted a penalty. They've got a corner. It's 0-0.
Come on, the boys.
That's madness now. We've got a centre half playing centre forward. Shanklin has actually made a huge difference since he came on. Big shout for a penalty kick there, but we're not going to get it.
I know we shouldn't say this on the BBC, but come on, Scotland. A minute to go. Minute to go in this game, in 10 minutes of added time. Scotland 0, Hungary 0.
This is the chance.
A goal we need for history. Corner comes in from Armstrong deep. Good leap. Ball is headed straight up in the air. Hanley's up there. My job to McGregor. Oh, shots blocked. Players all over the place in the penalty area. And now Hungary come on the break. Szoboszlai looking with the pace of Shobot. Lewis Morgan. Great job he does. Sticks with him. Pass to the right-hand side. Danger for Scotland. Szoboszlai's in on the right. Last minute of the game down to the byline. Cut back into the box. No! Oh, Hungary have scored. Hungary have scored. Right at the death. And Scotland are out of the Euros. You felt sure it was going to happen. One end or another, Scotland with the chances late on, and they've been caught with an absolute sucker punch. It's happened to Scotland again in Stuttgart. The ball ran loose in the penalty area. It's tucked in beyond Angus Gunn. Hungary will finish third in the group. It may not take them through. And for Scotland, it is major tournament heartbreak once again. Kevin Shobot, the speedster, found the finish at the end of the game, and it is desolation and desperation and disappointment for Scotland. Scotland 0, Hungary 1. There is no time to come back from that.
And possibly the best period of the second half for Scotland. They were pushing so many players forward. Grant Hanley couldn't move, couldn't get back, and he was up there being a danger. Scotland were throwing everything in, but those breaks are always going to be dangerous, and we're going to look at it as a possible offside. I don't think it was offside. And Scotland find ways, new, weird ways of going out of tournaments, and is that the 100th minute that Scotland have managed to lose a goal?
That is absolutely devastating for those Scotland players out there who now line up like a rugby team on the halfway line. No time left in the game. They've just got to roll this back, lump it forward, and hope for the very best. Their 12th major tournament, and once again, It's a familiar tale of woe. They're going out as it stands unless something miraculous can happen now at the end of the game. We're way beyond the 10 minutes of added time. Long ball forward, headed away. Ryan Christie's tackled, and it goes out for a Hungarian throw. And the referee blows the final whistle. And Scotland are out. They were so close in added time to finding the goal that would have taken them through to the knockout stages for the very first time, and now those players stand on the field. They don't know where to look. They don't know what to do with themselves as the Hungarian players celebrate. They cannot believe it has happened. In the 100th minute of that game, Quicksilver Hungarian break, it is they who celebrate, and it is Scotland who finish bottom of the group and head home. And it is really difficult to put that disappointment into words, and I think particularly so for you, Pat Nevin.
You know, you want to be controlled, and we'll get to that eventually and consider the wider discussion and what should have been done, what should not have been done. But Scotland had a right goal in those last 10 minutes. You know, the extra 10 minutes were added. It looked as if anyone was going to score, it was going to be Scotland. Through everything at it, Shankly come out and made a difference. Stevie Clark took massive chances, and in the end it was a chance too much. But had we gone out meekly, I would have actually been more annoyed about it. Now I'm just devastated for the Scotland players. They put a huge amount in there. But in the end, we find these ways to go out, and it's a very good play. It's a very good goal, but in the end, it's just so hard to take.
Lyndon Dykes, I know the only place you really want to be right now is down there with your teammates and consoling them. I know Scotland will bounce back from that. They have done brilliant things under Steve Clark. That is a really, really difficult one to take tonight.
Yeah, it's absolutely heartbreaking. You know, it was such a good game. I think we looked very strong. They were very nervy as well. At the end there, we're just all on our feet. We've got boys up front trying to score. We're trying to give everything we had at the end, and obviously they got that one break at the end, and you could see it kind of coming because we had that many boys up, Grant up front, boys up front. Everything was so disjointed, like you guys were saying, and it's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Well, you actually don't want structure at the end of a game like that. What you want is an open, mad, uncohesive game, because someone's going to get a chance, and we did have a chance just seconds before that. The ball just didn't fall down, you know, and Hanley had a chance just in front of the goal there. It was blocked, and it could just as easily have, you know, ricocheted and gone onto Scotland's foot, and we could have scored, and it would have been, wow, joyous, fantastic, what an end, what a great chance. But it just bounced the other way. And in small things like that, the small little bounces and small little changes, qualifications either do or don't happen.
Yeah, Pat, we talked about it at the start of the night, and Scotland, they won't want to hear it. I know they won't want to hear it. It's so painful. 1974 unbeaten in the group, went out on goal difference. 1978 out on goal difference. Euro 96, the late Kluivert goal, knocked them out. And tonight, like you say, chances for Hanley and McGregor late on. If those had gone in, Scotland would be within a whisker of the knockout stages. These now are really, really moving scenes on the field in Stuttgart, because we have the Scotland players in the left-hand half of the field all together. Steve Clark, the manager, has been round to every single one of them to commiserate and thank them for their efforts, and now he leaves the field with his head bowed. But all you've got now at the moment is the Scotland players, hearts in their boots, I'm sure, applauding the Tartan Army, who have been absolutely magnificent throughout this entire tournament. And I have to say, the Scotland players and the Scotland fans have done themselves very, very proud. But that will not make up for the disappointment of once again the same thing happening again. A 12th major tournament, and Scotland have not been able to make it through. It has finished Scotland 0, Hungary 1, and in the end the result, it may not take Hungary through. And you have to congratulate them on winning the game, and we really hope their centre forward Barnabas Varga is okay. Took a heavy fall in the second half, and that will be the first thing on their minds. And they're sharing a lovely moment with the Hungarian fans as well. But Kelly Cates, as these Scotland players, they're dragging themselves from this field, and they cannot look up, and their heads should be up, because it could have happened for them, and I know we say it all the time, and it didn't, and it's heartbreaking.
And while Scotland make their way off the pitch here in Stuttgart with their heads bowed and the Tartan army filtering out through the gangways in the stand over to our left, over to the right, Hungary were standing with their hands on their hearts, singing the national anthem as their fans, a sea of red to our right, held their scarves aloft and joined in with them. A real moment of celebration for them. And as we've said, we really hope that their striker Varga is going to be fit and is going to be healthy at the end of that game. He took a really horrible fall, and that takes precedence over any result here. But as we wait for confirmation of his well-being, there is still a football match to reflect on here. There is still a result that is significant as far as this team is concerned. The Hungary captain Dominik Szoboszlai putting the number 19 shirt on Varga's shirt to show that the players are thinking of him at this moment and making his way in front of those Hungary fans. But Pat, as you've been reflecting on with Ali, the plan for tonight from Scotland was to stay patient and then roll the dice at the end at 0-0. It's exactly what they did. The opportunities were there, and it just didn't go Scotland's way.
Well, we've seen enough of Stevie Clark now to know what the deal was going to be, and we could feel it. And it's just that old hold one. You know, how long do you leave it? And he did leave it. And let's be fair, he's not known as the manager to take the most amount of chances. Well, we took some chances tonight at the end. And the bare facts will say 1 point out of 9. And the bare facts will say we didn't score a goal. You know, other teams scored for us. And one hammering, one pretty unlucky defeat. And I think that's great. But on the other hand, did Scotland deserve to really win that game tonight? Not that many chances. Really not that many chances. When I consider it, everything I've thought all the way through it, Scotland against Swiss and Hungarians, you've got to bring your A game. Did we bring our A game? No, we didn't. Not every player. We weren't able to for a variety of reasons. When you look at the likes of John McGuinn, had a quieter game. He looked strong, and he was holding it, he was turning it, but he wasn't able to go by players. We weren't getting beyond his defences quite a lot of time. Scott McTominay, quieter game tonight, but he had nothing to fight off of, nothing to work with. If you come right down to it, did Scotland have a player who can, open a lot, who can see a pass that others can't see, who's a little bit special and a little bit different? Probably not. But I would say one player, and I think my timing's probably quite right. And I'm sure the man who's just coming beside us will agree. Lawrence Shankland did make a difference when they came on. It livened it up. The runs were beyond. That wasn't happening beforehand. But you wait and you wait and you wait, and of course the decision, whether Stevie made it too late, I wait. But eventually did have a go, and it turned on him in the end.
We'll be reflecting much more on this game between now and 10:30. The full-time whistle has gone in Frankfurt. With news of that game, Maz Faruqi.
Yeah, for all the optimism of their first two performances, Kelly, this match will have brought some of the Germany fans back to earth with a bit of a bump, although that late header in second half stoppage time from substitute Nicholas Füllkrug will have put a bit of a gloss on things to snatch that draw and ensure that Germany progress from this group as winners. They had trailed, remember, for an hour after a great team move and finish from Switzerland and Dan and Doy, who should have then scored a second almost immediately for Switzerland. But Germany kept going until the very end, and their persistence was rewarded, even if in truth their play was far from being of the best quality in what we've seen at this Euros so far. So Germany and Switzerland are the two sides definitely through from Group A to the knockout stages. Full time in Frankfurt, it finished Switzerland 1, Germany 1.
Thank you very much for that, Maz. So Group A is the first one to be complete at Euro 2024. Germany go through, as Maz was telling us, with 7 points. Switzerland second on 5, Hungary with 3, and Scotland bottom of the group, out of Euro 2024 with 1 point from their 3 games. We'll be reflecting on everything that's happened in Group A between now and 10:30, and that's coming straight after the BBC News with Stuart Clarkson.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Euros and the general election 2024.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Kelly, thank you. Manchester Airport says it hopes flights will be back to normal tomorrow after a day of disruption caused by a power cut. Planes have begun taking off again tonight, but up to 90,000 passengers have been affected through the day as flights were cancelled, delayed and diverted. Chris Shaw had his cancelled.
My usual impression of Manchester Airport sadly has been reinforced in that the individual staff are very helpful. They will do whatever they can to sort things out, but they're hampered somewhat by the system. And I have found that there hasn't been a great deal of information from Manchester Airport itself as a management team, and also haven't been certainly vouchers for food or drink or beverage available from the team, which you would normally expect.
The BBC understands the gambling regulator's inquiry into allegations of bets placed on the timing of the general election involves more people than those publicly named so far. 4 figures from the Conservative Party are known to be under investigation. The latest being their chief data officer, Nick Mason. He denies any wrongdoing. Gunmen have attacked 2 Orthodox churches, a synagogue and a police checkpoint in the southern Russian Republic of Dagestan. The local Interior Ministry says 6 police officers were killed and another 12 wounded. State media is reporting a Russian Orthodox priest has also been killed. Danny Eberhard is following developments.
There's an ongoing operation to tackle the gunmen. There's large numbers of police and security forces in the area. They're trying to apparently root them out of a building that's in Makhachkala. There's also a synagogue in Derbent, which is quite a famous fortress city on the Caspian Sea, has been set on fire, and also that one of the churches has been set on fire. It's a confusing picture. We also have heard from the authorities, the Russian authorities, that 2 attackers have been killed in Makhachkala. There are photos of dead people in black on the streets.
And a search operation in Tenerife for a missing British teenager has entered its 7th day. Jay Slater hasn't been seen since attending a music festival. A church service was held in his hometown of Oswaldtwistle in Lancashire earlier, giving the community there a chance to come together and pray for his safe return.
Oh, it's our favourite place in the world. The wonderful bunch of people.
Catch Coldplay live from Glastonbury. Lounging at home with Chris the Cat. Glastonbury, next weekend, we bring it to you. Watch on iPlayer, listen on BBC Sounds.
Euro 2024 Deutschland.
With Kelly Cates.
On 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Here in Stuttgart, it's finished Scotland 0, Hungary 1, and Steve Clarke's side are out of Euro 2024. We are so used to the noise of the Scotland fans at their games so far this tournament, but all the volume in this stadium at the moment is coming from the Hungary supporters as the Hungary players make their way once again to celebrate in front of their own fans. It's now 12 major tournament appearances with 12 exits at the group stage for Scotland. Their captain, Andy Robertson, has been speaking to Ailey Barber.
Andy, I don't quite know what to say to you at this moment in time. Can you sum up at all how you're feeling right now?
There's nothing really to say, to be honest. We gave it everything. We knew we had to win this game. Both teams had to win. And if it was on the counter-attack, obviously, we've had a chance there, and I think it could have went either way, but that's football. That's how it goes, and it'll take a long time to go over this one.
Yeah, so much control at the beginning of the game in the first half, and a lot of possession. It seemed to be trying to just make that magic moment in the final third.
Yeah, we had a lot of possession first half without really doing anything with it, but we were in control. We controlled the game, passing the ball really well, but yeah, we just had to find that cutting edge. We knew there was going to be a point in the game where we could go for it, bring on the players that we had on the bench to kind of maybe just go for it that wee bit more, bring on Armstrong, Christie, Shanklin, Morgan, and yeah, we did go for it, but yeah, we got sucker punched at the end, and a draw wasn't going to be enough realistically, so both teams had to go for it, and unfortunately one of us had to lose.
You've led this group of players for such a number of years and seen the development within this squad and this group of players, and I know it hurts just now, but do you see that development continuing, and perhaps you get back to this big stage and make happier memories?
That's what we have to do, but that's not for tonight. That's what we have to hope in the future, but tonight and for a long time we have to get over this. Unfortunately, it's a tough one, and with international football, sometimes you lose players and things like that, and we'll see what happens with that, but tonight's devastating. There's no buttering it up. All the lads are absolutely gutted, and but it's up to us to pick them up, but that only happens slowly but surely. But what I will say is thank you to the country, because we felt everyone behind us, and we knew the excitement back home, and yeah, sorry for letting you down.
Andy Robertson, with apologies at the end of his interview with Ailey there, did he need to apologise for anything, Pat, do you think?
I think you apologise for letting your country down if you don't put everything in. They put everything in, particularly the last two games, so you don't have to apologise. Apologise that you didn't have the quality in the end to create enough chances to say we should have been definitely through. We can't say that. We weren't good enough. We weren't in control of the games. And when we did control the game in the first half, which was lovely to see, we controlled it in our own half. We weren't causing any real problems in the other half. So that lack of real pure creativity in the final third, where the very top teams have it, we've had limited amounts these last couple of games. We're sure we've had in the past. McTominay gets there, McGinn's got there in the past, but we haven't been able to do it in these last couple of games, and we've had very, very few opportunities. And tonight it was incredibly few opportunities until those last 2 or 3 minutes.
Neil McCann is also with us. Neil, the way Andy Robertson described it was a first half, as Pat was saying, in which Scotland had a lot of control but very few chances, because he said he knew the moment was going to come when they would be able to go for it. They made a lot of attacking substitutions, created chances. The problem is that comes with risk.
Yeah, it does. I was very surprised in how Hungary approached the game. They really sat off us. I expected it to be so open, them to be very aggressive. But fair play to them, because they probably looked at us and thought, right, they're not the type of team that's going to get wide into wide areas and really cut you open. I said about the power of McTominay and McGinn. I think they were expecting that. And we did, as Pat saying there, 488 passes. But how many of them were penetrating? How many of them were asking questions of the Hungary backline? Nowhere near enough. And then when, of course, it gets to a stage where Steve Clarke then changes his mindset and he wants to have a go at it. But we're all over the place then. We're ragged at the back. They break against us the last minute. Armstrong takes the corner, throws it in. We're ended up, I think, with Ryan Christie and Lewis Morgan back the pitch for us. You want them in the final third. They end up trying to recover the counter-attack. We get sucker punched. We get out of jail, actually, when the goal scorer hits the post before that. But the risk needed to happen when we had good structure about us, Kelly. Not when we're made substitutions. We've taken Ralston off, we've taken Robertson off, we've taken McGinn off. It needed to come when we had a solidity still at the back. And that's something that I think we'll look back at and say that we played with too much of a handbrake getting into this game. I thought Shankland was very good, incidentally, coming on. He offered us a lot more of a threat. Now, maybe that's because Hungary started to take more of a risk themselves. And that's something you look back at. But on the whole, 1 point from the group. We've had 2 deflections to get our 2 goals. Shots on target tonight, none. 4 attempts on goal versus 14. That doesn't make good reading. And I still believe as a team we're better than that, but we needed to be braver. Now, whether that comes from the management team to say to the players, you need to take more risk in the final third, guys, stop controlling the ball. I've never seen Callum McGregor play so many negative passes or square passes. He never does it with Celtic. He retains possession, but he's always looking forward. Billy Gilmore as well. We just didn't have enough. We didn't have enough penetration, and I don't think we played with enough risk. This was a risk assessment game before to say, right, when do we need to do that? And I think we waited far too long, Kelly.
What do you think, Pat? Did they get the risk-reward balance right?
The thing is, you're asking two guys here who played in creative positions, and we'll think the same thing. I'm sure very similar. You've got somebody in the final third that's going to be able to either A, beat you, or B, drag players, or slide the ball through, or C, have the vision to create something. And all the top teams have got them.
Yep.
And we've kind of not really that. And I know some of the guys can't play that pass now and again, but they are. And that's why I say to you at one point, the guy I want on most just now, if you've got Shankland on, you need somebody to give him a chance. So I wanted James Forrest on. It's a good end of the season. Yep. I'd like to have seen him on. Go and ask the question, see if you can go beyond people. Now, it's not old-fashioned you want wingers, but when a lot of teams are playing the 3-4-2-1 or the version of it that we play, we're not killing it beyond players. Our players that did that in the past were Robertson and Tierney to some degree. Robbo hardly got there today. Because of the way we played today, Robbo was never getting beyond players.
But Stevie is a coach, and I'm not going to bombard him here because he got us here. I mean, it was a superb group section to qualify. Let's be honest, we were swashbuckling, but we played the similar ways. Pat's saying we're a nation that always looks to get the extra man either in defence by playing 3 centre-backs or through the middle of the pitch. It's never trying to get 3 forwards and stretch a team and pin them back and have the ability to open the game to create gaps in that back line. And I think in this tournament, when we look back, it is so evident that's the case. We never took enough risk. In the Germany game, we were really negative. We came out and we were much better in the Swiss game. And in this game, I would have loved to have been sitting here as a Scotsman and watching this thing. Right, do you know what? We might have not gone through tonight. Hungary might have mugged us with a counter-attack or been quality, breaking us up. But we had a proper go at it tonight, and it was too late before we did.
It feels like it was feast or famine and then feast, and it was that. So how do Scotland, with the group of players that they have available to them, set up in order to do that, in order to have a go without it being utter chaos like it was at the end, or without leaving themselves really exposed at the back?
It's a difficult one because then you look at a group of players. Have we got the players to play a 4-3-3? Probably at this level. No, and I understand why Stevie then goes for the extra man at centre-back position. He's asking Andy Robertson or Ralston on the other side. I think we missed Aaron Hickey. I think we missed the real physical presence which has been so important to us from Lyndon Dykes. And then, of course, we lost Kieran Tierney late into the tournament. So it's probably not the time to get really forensic here and start looking at us and pointing the fingers. But there's a severe deflation because I think we've done ourselves as a nation so much positivity coming to Germany that we've been embraced as a country. But on the pitch, that's where you want to make friends. That's where you want to gain the respect of the other nations. And I think we'll look at it and think we let ourselves down there.
Neil, thanks very much for coming up to talk to us. Chris Sutton is joining us as well. Chris, have you got a 6:06 tonight?
Yes,
you have, haven't you?
I think.
Yes.
I hope.
So
unless you've heard something,
do you think this is going to be a hard luck story for Scotland, that they left everything out there, or do you think they'll feel, as Neil was saying, that there were real missed opportunities?
Yeah, I think there'll be a split on that. I get both sides of the argument. I think there's a question mark at both ends in terms of, do Scotland have the quality of player? I think throughout the tournament in the final third that they've really lacked. I do not understand. I heard Pat a minute ago. I do not understand how James Forrest, was not used when your team are not creating opportunities. A different type of player, a different option. For what it's worth, I didn't think it was a penalty. I think Armstrong was looking for the contact from Auburn. I don't understand why he didn't try and get a shot off. I mean, what an opportunity that was. So, I know I've seen a lot of stuff on social media, people saying it was a Stonewall penalty. I didn't think it was. Over the piece, I really feel for the players, because after the deflation and the setback in the first game against Germany, to give themselves a chance against a good Swiss team. But looking at tonight's game, I really do feel that it was a missed opportunity, because I didn't think it was a great Hungarian team, and Scotland was suckered at the end, and it's going to be a sore one. It really, really is. But just didn't do enough in the final third over the piece for me.
Chris, for now, thank you very much. But as Chris said, 6:06 is coming up just after 10:30 here on 5 Live. The number to call if you want to have your say, 08085 909 693. But late disappointment here in Stuttgart, and late drama in Frankfurt, where Germany equalised in injury time to draw 1-1 with Switzerland. They take top spot in Group A. Germany finish on 7 points, Switzerland in second on 5, Hungary in third on 3, and Scotland bottom of the table with 1 point and heading out to the Euros. But it means that Germany will face second place in England's group in the round of 16. That is currently Denmark. Switzerland will play second place in Group B. That is currently Italy, but of course those games yet to take place. Raphael Hernigstein joins us now. Look, we will talk about the result as a whole, the fact that Germany only took a point against Switzerland, but that's a big goal for Germany in terms of their path forward in this tournament.
Yeah, a huge goal. It really saved their blushes. German word for you, Kelly, schmeichelhaft. Flattering. Really flattering result for Germany. They didn't
related
do enough.
To Peter Schmeichel or to Kasper?
No, unrelated. But it does amount to a proof of concept of sorts. The idea was always, if the passing game, the little guys, the movement doesn't work, we will bring on Phil Krug and go a bit more direct. Now the goal came from a nice cross from David Raum, one of the subs, and a great header from Phil Krug to rescue that point and rescue Germany winning the group, which is important because it does, at least in the next round, should make life a little bit easier, and Italy would have been a slightly daunting prospect. But a lot of things didn't go according to plan to Germany, and the things we talked about before the game, you know, the question marks about the defenders, for example, those question marks now have become a lot bigger because they didn't cover themselves with glory at the back.
Yeah, those issues were ones, as you say, that were raised but that didn't quite evidence themselves or weren't punished necessarily in the opening two games. So how much of a problem did they cause, and how did they cause a problem for Germany against Switzerland?
Germany had problems all night against the pace and the physicality that Ndoye and Mbolo represented. There was a lack of focus. They were a little bit slow, Jonathan Tah and Antonio Rüdiger, to react, especially for the goal, but they had problems throughout the game. Jonathan Tah will miss the next game through suspension. Nico Schlotterbeck has not had a good Germany career so far. He's going to have to deputise next to Toni Rüdiger, and yeah, there's a lot of players didn't have a good game. If you are playing a passing game, which is probably the most complex and difficult game to pull off, but then your passing is a little bit off, your first touch is a little bit off, your movement is a little bit off, what are you left with? Not a lot. And Germany had such big problems trying to create chances. When they went more direct, things began to look a little bit more promising, but at the cost of controlling the game. So I think Nagelsmann, despite the point, despite getting things right with the substitutions, will not sleep that well tonight.
I hope you will though, Raf, because you've got work to do throughout this tournament. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you to Raphael Honigstein. So Germany get a crucial goal to rescue a point and finish top of the group. Disappointment for Scotland though. Let's get some more reaction. Here's Angus Gunn with Ailey.
Angus, I'm sure disappointing doesn't actually even cut it right now.
Yeah, it's hard to speak, to be honest. I thought everyone gave their best out there, and yeah, it was just, I think obviously the goal at the end was because we was going for it, but I think the effort we gave today showed the the fans and the country what it means to us.
Yeah, you had to go for it. You did go for it, and I suppose the thing is, when although it ends in disappointment, you don't want to feel like you didn't give it everything, and I'm sure you all feel in there as much as you're hurting right now that you did.
I think it's hard to feel like that right now, but I think when we do look back, we created chances, we had opportunities, and it didn't fall for us. Deflections didn't go our way, and yeah, we couldn't score. And yeah, at the end of the day, we're out, and nothing really matters anymore.
Yeah, it turned into such a battle out there as well, and the incident involving Vargas must have been difficult for you in particular to sort of see that, a player going down like that.
That was a bit of a blur, yeah. I thought I had to come, and thought I'd done well. It was a bit painful, but hopefully the guy's all right. And obviously Raldo got up as well. I can't really remember too much about that one. But yeah, unfortunately, they managed to counter at the end, and it was a bit of a sucker punch because I thought we defended very well most of the game.
Yeah, really tough one, Angus. Thank you for speaking to us. Thank you.
Hungary's goal, the latest ever scored in the European Championships, but one of the reasons for that was the time added on after a really serious injury to Barnabas Varga. There is some encouraging news on his health, though. There was a post on X by the Hungarian Football Federation who say Barnabas Varga's condition is stable. He's currently in a hospital in Stuttgart. They say they will inform you immediately if there is any news about his status. But encouraging at the moment that Barnabas Varga is stable, and obviously that takes precedence over any result that took place in Stuttgart. But it was a defeat for Scotland, a 1-0 defeat at the hands of Hungary. That late goal coming as it did. Scotland come away from the tournament, Pat Nevin, with 1 point from their 3 games. An extremely disappointing performance against Germany, less so against Switzerland, where there was a recovery of sorts, and then against Hungary, a very patient performance, waiting for the chaos at the end. It wasn't enough for points. Was it enough to satisfy this craving for the players to do as well as they could? Will they come away from that feeling that they left everything out there?
Yeah, they'll feel as if they left everything out there, but they'll also feel absolutely gutted, because you're brought up in football just to want to win. You know, you've not done it. You've not qualified. You had Andy Robertson saying he felt he's left everybody down. I don't think they've let everyone down, because that work rate is there. But we need to look at ourselves as a nation, the Scottish people, in the quality of our football. And this is pretty close to a golden generation we've had for the last 20-25 years. And is it good enough yet to really say we should have qualified? I'm afraid not. We can't argue that. And we wouldn't argue that. We're good enough for effort. We're good enough, the structure of the organisation is good. There are some absolutely lovely players that play in the team. But are we good enough as a whole, complete unit to say we should be there, we should be through? No, we're not. And I'm not going to smash Stevie Clark for it. He could have made a difference by making changes earlier, and that's a possibility, and that we'll be raking through that, no doubt, very soon. But there's very, very little in it. And there were moments in both of the games against Switzerland and against Hungary where had the ball dropped our way, we'd be through here, and we might have a completely and utterly different narrative behind it. But we should really stand back and accept that, hey, we've come on a bit, but we've still got a long way to go, Scotland.
A long way to go, and a World Cup coming up in 2 years' time. You mentioned Steve Clarke there, the progress that the group of players have made under him, and key players missing in the European Championships this time around. Will he want to make sure that Scotland are there and performing in the Americas?
Well, I'll make one bet with you if you like. There'll be plenty of people saying it's time to go, right? 100% time to go. With a lot of people say that. I personally don't think that. I may have a bias because I'm like Stephen. He's got us into these 2 Euros, and we look like an organised, structured team for the vast majority of the time. But it almost looks like there might be one last hurrah for this group, and it is the World Cups. And you need to decide whether you give that to Stevie Clarke. There's another thing. Does Stevie Clarke want to take it that much further? And we will look forward to hearing what Stevie says about that.
There will be lots to talk about in the aftermath of this European Championships for Scotland. They are out of the tournament. They've been beaten 1-0 on the night in Stuttgart by Hungary with a 100th-minute goal. Thank you very much to Pat Nevin. Thank you to Alistair Bruce Ball for your company. 6:06 is on the way with Natalie Pike and Chris Sutton.